Oh, we're live. Oh, sorry. Were we live right now? All right, great. Sorry about that. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the show we do every Tuesday. This is the last one of the year. It's been a whole lot of fun. Pub Sports Radio has posted a bunch of year in review videos that have been a lot of fun to watch, reminding me of how enjoyable this has been all year. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone, all the producers and the team at Pub Sports Radio, everyone on Twitter, of course, all the commenters in the comment section. It's just been a lot of fun. Thank you to Slaughter. Thank you to Jimmy the Bag. Thank you to Jose Bouquett. Thank you to all the commenters and all the guests on the show and everything and everyone. All right. Today we got a huge NBA card, which is not normal for a Tuesday, but it's going to be fun. I haven't made any NBA bets. We're going to talk about it with Trotwam, break down every game, and when I listen to what he has to say and see what the comment section has to say, maybe I'll add a bet or two or five from the NBA card. As of right now, I got nothing. NHL coming off the break will be very interesting. I also have not bet anything in NHL so far, but we'll talk to Mr. Goldster about it, and maybe I'll add on a pick or bet or two or five in the NHL card when we talk about Mr. Goldster. The bowl games, though, I have been betting fairly successfully. And one of them does start at 12 o'clock Eastern time. It's the Buffalo game and the Georgia Southern game. And I did take a little bit on the Georgia Southern money line. I'm seeing that some interesting action is coming back on Buffalo, though, which makes me nervous. I'm not going to be able to hedge out of it in the middle of the show, but I did that. And I also hit the over a little bit, but that line has gotten bet way up. I don't even know where it is right now. So I don't know if I would take it right now. But that's what I did. I definitely bet the over a bit, and more so the Georgia Southern money line, which it looks like there's maybe some sharp action coming in on Buffalo, which is not great to see. I also bet the over in the Utah State-Memphis game at 58.5. I think that's a decent play. I also bet the over in Coastal Carolina, Eastern Carolina at I think I got 63. I don't remember the exact line. That's gotten bet up. And Oklahoma State and Wisconsin is very interesting. I was leaning Oklahoma State. It appears that there's a little bit of line value on Wisconsin, though. I bet Oklahoma State. Or I haven't bet Oklahoma State. That's what I was leaning. I haven't bet that one yet. I'll probably pass unless closer to kickoff there's something that I'm liking, and all the money's coming in on the under in that one as well. I'm leaning Oklahoma State just a little bit. Didn't bet it. It looks like some sharp action maybe on Wisconsin. Let's quickly check the comment section to see if anyone here has any opinions on the college games. Shout out to Todd Clinton, Todd Trot Wham, Rocco Rogers, MDR, Sammy Culmer. Shout out to Sam Culmer. Great to see you in the comment section. Sam Culmer, of course, people who don't know, has had multiple multi-pick runs on Twitter in NBA. Just an unbelievable thing to see. Real Deal Prime, Lucas, hell yeah, Lucas Ryan, shout out to you. And Sam Culmer likes Chelsea and Bournemouth. Under 3 minus 130. Oh, well, sorry, minus 120. All right, maybe I'll tail it. No, seriously, Sammy Culmer. I don't know how you did it. I don't know where it was coming from. I don't know what you were doing. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you live. I don't know anything about you, Sam Culmer. But those are some impressive things you did on Twitter, picking all those friggin' games in a row, one after another, after another, after another, after another. Shout out to Sammy Culmer. Lucas Ryan, Danny Lopez, Sky Dragon, hell yeah. All right, everyone's in the comment section. All right. So once again, let's see. People talking about the upcoming Buffalo game. QB playing his old team makes me nervous in Buffalo, Georgia Southern game. Yeah, I mean, that one starts at 12 o'clock Eastern, so we can just very quickly talk about that. Yeah, two quality quarterbacks. I bet the over, and I did take Georgia Southern a bit. I kind of like Georgia Southern more. Now I'm definitely liking the over way more. Yeah, it's this guy, Kyle Van Treese, who's the quarterback for Georgia Southern, and he was Buffalo's quarterback last season. So there's that intrigue here. Again, the starting quarterback for Georgia Southern was Buffalo's starting quarterback last season, and he's pretty good, you know. And then Buffalo also has a nice quarterback as well. So it should be a nice offensive game. And I was leaning Georgia Southern. Let me just quickly check to see where the lines are right now, because I don't know where sometimes this late line movement in bowl games can be pretty telling. Let me just quickly give a quick glance. If I remember, maybe we'll check closer to 12 Eastern. Let me see. Where are we right now? Let's see what happened to these. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, my God. Yeah. Georgia Southern and the over are both headed up. All right. I guess that's nice to see. I don't know where this sharp action supposedly on Buffalo is coming from at this site that we checked, but supposedly some sharp action on Buffalo, but the line is headed up. I took Georgia Southern when they were like 3.5 or so on the money line, and I took the over. I don't know. I'd probably still bet both if I didn't already have bets on them, and probably should add more. I don't know. But yeah, right now I'm seeing Georgia Southern like 5.5 at Heritage and 67.5 on the total. Man, I don't know if I can recommend bets on both of those, but I did bet both of those at better lines. I'll just quickly talk about the rest of the college slate quickly before we get to NHL. Yeah, I did bet the over in Utah State, Memphis at about 58.5. That's now down to 58 at Heritage. That's not a great sign. That's where it is. Eastern Carolina, Coastal Carolina, I bet the over in that one as well at about 63. That's now up to 65.5. I'd probably take a shot with it at 65.5. Even if I didn't have it. Oklahoma State, Wisconsin. Yeah, tomorrow. And then on the 28th, Wednesday, Duke. I did bet that. Got a decent line and a lean to the over as well. But I definitely like a shot with Duke. If I didn't have it already, I'd still take it at 3.5. I might take the money line instead. Definitely liking Duke on that one. And I took the over. Kansas, Arkansas, definitely liking Kansas. I took Kansas at like 4.5. Now it's down to 2.5 or 3. And a lean to the over as well in the Kansas-Arkansas game, and would have a lean to the Kansas team total over as well. But definitely liking Duke, definitely liking Kansas, even at the current lines, although less so than what I bet them at. Definitely like the over in both of those games. I took a shot with Ole Miss against Texas Tech as well on Wednesday. Also liking that a bit. Would probably take it on the money line. And took a shot with Washington. Plus whatever, 5, 4. Now it's down to 3.5, and I would still be leaning that way as well. I take it at 3.5 if I didn't have it already at other lines. I like NC's. I bet NC State at Pick'em. Now it's up to -1. I would definitely bet that one if I didn't have a bet at -1. And I took some shots with Pittsburgh against UCLA. I think I got like 6, and then I hit it again at 4.5. Now it's back to 5.5. We'll see where it closes. That one's dicey, but as of right now, I'm still liking Pittsburgh and the under, although that line is headed down. And South Carolina against Notre Dame. I like that. I bet that. I don't know if I like it, but I bet it. +2, and I'd still take it there. Leaning Wyoming. I did bet that one a little bit. Definitely leaning Wyoming, though, and I bet it a little bit. Could change. But I bet Wyoming over Ohio. And Clemson, Tennessee, pass, but I want to take the under. Iowa, Kentucky, definitely pass. Alabama game, pass. Georgia, pass. TCU, Michigan, I took a shot with the under at 58.5. That hasn't moved yet. We'll see where that moves, but I did bet that one, the under. Tulane, USC, I bet the over a little bit. Again, I might change my mind on that later, but I bet it. And Utah, Penn State, small play on the over as well so far. I'll probably bet more on these as we get closer to kickoff. But as of right now, that's overall my bull card as of right now. Let's look at the comments section to see if anyone likes any of that. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Very nice. People had New Mexico State yesterday. Very nice. I had Bowling Green and wanted to pull it, but I missed it. And then it lost. I wish I had pulled it, but I did have Bowling Green. North Ender played the under in Utah State. All right, yeah. I took the over, and the line has moved against me, so that might have been a mistake. but that's what I did. Let's see. Oh, man. Yeah, Dan Kelly talking about FanDuel. Yeah, funny stuff, Dan Kelly. I hear you. All right. Shout out to OG Wham, everyone in the comments section. All right. Yeah, I'd love to talk about bowls a lot more, but let's get into it right now. We got a lot to cover, and time is short. Please welcome to the show one of our resident NHL experts, Mr. Gokster. Hell yeah, Mr. Gokster. All right, Mr. Gokster, can you hear me? Say something to make sure your audio is good.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing.
Awesome. Okay, let's get into the card. Let's keep a brisk pace, but in general, after the Christmas break, do you have any things you look at? How do you handle these games after Christmas break? Because I'll tell you right now, I have not made any NBA or NHL bets as of right now. I'm very interested to hear what you have to say, but post and pre All-Star break and post and pre Christmas break, yeah. I tread carefully. What's your take on this point of the season in the NHL?
Well, I got some stats actually for you, Pete. 7 of the first 9 games have gone over 5.5 last year. So they actually come out a little hotter than usual. And then dating all the way back to last year, 2019, because 2020 we had the COVIDs. It was 8 of 11 games went over 5.5. So we've surprisingly, you might think there'd be a lower scoring coming from the break guys, but just history, little trends there for you, Pete. There have been some goals. I really play things though, kind of year to year, so I don't play too much into that, Pete. But this 11 game slate, we got some games, we got some money we can definitely make here. I got some team totals. Can't wait to hear what our Nutflesh Allen has to say about them. A couple money line parlay. I'm actually looking at some World Junior action too, so we got a lot of hockey, so let's get after it, guys.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm getting all my stuff here. And, once again, I got nothing as of right now on NHL, but I've looked over the card, and maybe I'll make some bets and picks. You always got to be betting is fun, but you always got to make sure that you are good with whatever bets you make, and you have a reason for making them, not just betting them willy-nilly. Let's start with Chicago and Carolina, okay? I don't know here, right? The Blackhawks get, obviously, Carolina a massive favorite, right? Which makes sense. Chicago got a win in their last game, but before that, they had lost 1 million games in a row. Carolina rolling, 8-game winning streak, just dominating. So you've got an unquestionably dominant team versus an unquestionably ass team. And you got a minus 450 favorite or whatever it is. It was minus 426 on the overnight line. I'll see what the line is now. But, Stalock coming back for Chicago is good in goal, right? He got a win in the last game. And that helped. So maybe because he's back, we change our opinion of Chicago. I have no clue here. What's your take on this one?
Yeah, so that's the question, Pete, right there with the goaltending. Going to have to wait to hear about who's going to be in because I have Mrazek going. Okay. So it could be either of the two, really, Pete. I think Mrazek, the little stats, 4 goals, 3 goals, 7 goals in his last 3 games. So they don't really have the best goaltending. Stalock did okay for a little stretch, but again, they're both of these goalies, Pete, I'd say are in the bottom 20 of the NHL.
Okay, so you don't like Stalock then?
So no, both of these goalies, it's take your pick, but it's not like they have much options here, really, Chicago, even though they brought in Mrazek. Carolina, on the other hand, you said it well, they're playing Kochetkov, 1 goal, 2 goals, 2 goals. He's 4-1, Pete, at home with a .922 save percentage, 2.02 goals against, where Mrazek's got a .891 save percentage and a 3.57 goals against. Where I would look with this one, guys, it's tough to make some money on this game just because of the lines, unless you like Chicago, which I really don't here. Maybe a Chicago team total under, Pete, but that's, again, minus 225 on the 2.5, so I can't take that. And the team total over 3.5 for Carolina was about minus 165. 170, so that's juiced a little bit there too. So what I think's pretty safe play here, guys. I don't think Chicago's can push the pace, at least on this Carolina team. They're missing Case, Fitzgerald, and Anderson. Tenorti's also out, Pete. This is a key defenseman. He's having surgery, so they missed another defenseman here. Really a leader on Chicago, if you ask me. So Carolina in regulation is going to be an addition on a money line parlay, Pete. It's okay. At 285, but just kind of taking that juice from minus 400 down to 285. I don't see this game going to overtime even. And I don't see Chicago scoring more than 3 goals, but I'm going to lay off that minus 225. But that's another option you could go with too, guys. Chicago team total under 2.5. Tie that in with maybe with a money line parlay, but I'm going to do the regulation side minus 285 beat.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess, gosh. Chicago team total under 2.5 is minus 174 at Pinnacle and 170 at Heritage. That's a steep line, right?
One more thing, it is a steep line. Yeah, they're 32nd, Pete, on the road on their penalty kill. So this is the worst penalty kill team on the road this year. They're at 62%. So that's not good right there. If anything, I would lean more towards, I think, Carolina scoring than anything. And like I said, I don't think Chicago can keep up. The one thing Chicago has going for them, though, Pete, they do have the 9th best power play, surprisingly, in the league, but Carolina, 12th best penalty kill at home, 81%. You got a goalie that's got a .922 save percentage, a defense that's pretty damn solid. So I see Carolina winning this game, guys. It's not a game you can see you can make a lot of money on, but yeah, Carolina should get it done.
All right, let's look see if anyone in the comments section has anything to say about this crazy game. Wow, let's see. Yeah, Real Deal Prime says okay. Aho is back for the Cane. Yeah, and he's playing well. That's a big addition. Slatsy, shout out to Slatsy, likes Cane's first period. All right, so people are okay. Yeah, all right, I guess. And then there's Elliot V with Vancouver money line fading Calgary. I'll copy and paste that for when we get to that game. But all right, I guess I'll pass as of right now on this game. Well, it's tempting to just go for sort of a no-brainer Carolina -1, but I won't do it. All right, next game, Washington and Rangers. Again, I have the money. Let me just quickly take a look at the. Okay. I'm sorry?
Yeah, no, I love to hear the money, Pete. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, an almost imperceptible little bit of value on Carolina as a huge favorite, as an enormous favorite still. An almost imperceptible amount of value on Carolina, according to the site we look at. And the bigger bets appear to be coming in on the under, which is interesting. All right, so let's move on. Next game, Washington and Rangers. Again, I don't know. Rangers a big home favorite. Both of these teams playing great, right? Washington's won 9 of 10. Rangers have won 8 of 9. First glance, I guess I would say, why not take Washington? It's more of a coin flip than maybe the line is indicating, and small value on Washington. But I looked at this game. I was like, I have no idea. They're both great teams. As of right now, I'm going to pass. Is there any reason to think that either of these teams is not as great as they've been playing over the past few weeks?
Well, actually, you know what? That's a great way to put it there, Pete. And I think Washington's that team that's not what you think they are so far. One reason being is Carlson, guys, leader on their defense, number 74, I want to say. I think he's 74. Took a puck, Pete, right to the jaw. So went down for a block A and then took one right to the old jaw, which is not good on a clapper from the point. So he's out, Pete. That's a key defenseman. He's having surgery, so that's definitely not good for them. They're also without Fairvey. Oshie's day-to-day, so waiting on confirmation to see if Oshie's in, but him not being in, they're 15th or 19th power play, 15th penalty kill, very middling special teams. Penalty kill could be better for the Rangers, but this is a completely healthy hockey team, Pete. That's the biggest thing for me. Rangers being completely healthy. Looking at the goaltending, it's very actually even, surprisingly. You got old Lindgren here. He's 5-3 with a .909 save percentage, 2.86 goals against. Shesterkin 8-4, .906. So I really think it's more the health I'm really leaning on here, Pete. The health of the Rangers, 60 minutes here at home, 9-10 to the team total under for the Washington Capitals, which isn't the greatest stat here, but that's where I'm going to be looking, actually, Pete. I don't think Washington's going to score much here. I really don't. Without Carlson on their back end, that's a lot of outlet passes, in my opinion. You're missing Oshie. I'll bring up the line really quick. Their team quickly here for you guys. Washington, where are they? Right here, Capitals. Who we got here? Johansson, Eller, Abel Kubel. They're still a deep hockey team. I must say that, though. They're still a deep hockey team, but it's on defense. You got Eric Gustafsson, Van Riemsdyk, Jansen, Orlov, Irwin, who they've called up, and then another Johansson. So they're thinner on the back end. It's going to be tougher, I think, for Lindgren. See how Lindgren does without Carlson, because, again, that's a key player they're missing. Also, there are other guys they've been missing, guys. Wilson, they've been missing Kuznetsov as well. So that once they get a couple players back, Pete, Washington's I think with Carlson out, Pete, this is a tough spot for them. That's where I'm really going to get. I know it's one player. It's a key player they're missing, though. 60 minutes. Give me, without humming and hawing too much more, Rangers regulation plus 110. I do think the Rangers are going to get this one done. Pete, Lindgren has looked okay here, but again, this Carlson guy, if you guys know, Washington fans, that's a big player they're missing there on defense, leader. A lot of minutes too. So Washington team total under 2.5 plus 105 is going to be another play here. I don't see the only with. I think the Rangers, unless they come out really slow, but they hadn't had a good first half of the season, guys. They really were laboring at some times. They finished strong, but they can't afford to, come out lackadaisical here. And it's Ovechkin, the chase he's had, Pete. He's second in the NHL in scoring. He passed the great Gordie Howe. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, the line has gotten bet up even a little bit from last night. Looking at the site we look at, again, an almost imperceptible but present sliver of line value on the Rangers, according to this site. All the money coming in on the over, 60% of the tickets and 97% of the cash coming in on the over.
Hold on, timeout. I'm going to call a timeout here. Bananas and grapes. I knew I was wrong. Yeah, I got too much alcohol in me from the holidays. It's not Kuznetsov, Pete. He plays for Tampa Bay. Have another drink there, Gokster. It's Backstrom. Backstrom's a guy I wanted to say. Backstrom, Hagelin, and Tom Wilson. They're eventually going to be back. But no, Kuznetsov should definitely be playing on Tampa Bay. But yeah, I just want to correct myself there. Thank you, Bananas.
Okay. All right. Great, Mr. Gokster.
I said Kuznetsov, and I said it. I was thinking someone's going to call me out too. And thank you, Bananas and Grapes, calling.
Yeah, no, I mean, I heard that and I was like, should I embarrass this guy publicly on air? I was like, nah, I'm just going to ignore it and just pretend it didn't happen.
Would have been good content, though. Would have been good content, Pete. We're always looking for good content.
I hear you. All right. Yeah. I think that, it's you're probably right. It seems like the Rangers, -1 or on the money line or something like that. I'm thinking maybe the Rangers team total over as well, but they could easily get a 3-goal win here, even though they've had.
Well, they're going to have to find some more minutes for Karlsson. Who's going to – I want to see how they're going to make up this Karlsson minutes. Karlsson on their penalty kill as well. This guy's – and then Oshie's been up and down, but I keep saying that's the big issue. They're 15th on the penalty kill, 19th in the power play. Yeah, this is and looking at the series too. Their split series last 6 games, 3-3. So it's been back and forth battle, and you have the healthier team here in the Rangers. So I think that takes into effect. I know it's very simple capping, you could say, but New Year's break at home too.
Sure,
I'm taking the Rangers.
Yeah, I might join you because look at this. Slatsy says this should be a letdown. Karlsson out. Rangers for me. Spencer Penjije says Rangers at home. Slatsy likes Bruins Rangers money line plus 157. Yeah. Shout out to MDR. Shout out to MDR 24. All right. You know what? Oh, gosh. Yeah. You think they'll just like completely come out flat here? The Caps.
Again here, I deserve. I don't have another timeout, but we're going to call another timeout. You can go Gokster's all mangled here. Yeah, Kucherov's the guy I'm talking about on Tampa Bay, and yeah, Kuznetsov is playing on the Caps. But looking at Washington here, they're offensively, it's more defensively, Pete. It's more on the back end with Kuznetsov because again, we'll quickly bring up their lineup here. Yeah, Evgeny Kuznetsov, second line with Mantha Milano, which is interesting. Sheary with Stroman, Ovechkin. And it's a healthy Rangers team. They should beat them. I'm being simple here. Yeah. And also, looking at some overs tonight. We went over that at the beginning there, Mally Mal. Heavy overs coming off the break. This game, I'm not too sure. You have a strong goaltending, especially with Shesterkin. You're gonna be stuttering here, eh?
Okay.
Yeah,
You're doing great.
Geez, I feel like it's like my first time on screen.
We all grow and learn. That's what life is all about: growth and learning. And yeah, gosh. All right, I'm gonna. Yeah, there are. All right, I'm gonna take a shot. I'll trust you though. I'll try. Yeah, you might be stuttering. You might be making some mistakes, but you know what really matters here is the fucking picks and the analysis. I think you're right. I trust Slatsy as well. I'll make Rangers -1 plus 109 an official play. That's current line of Pinnacle. Rangers -1 plus 109 makes some sense to me, and I'll go with it. And yeah, I do want to. I'm tempted to take the Rangers team total over, but I'll pass.
I would agree there too because with Gustafsson and Van Riemsdyk as your number one, that makes me a little bit nervous. If anything, I think Jansen Orlov could see more minutes there, but again, it should be and Charlie Lindgren, guys. This he's doing well. Pete, this is kind of his first time taking over a role, at least with Kemper being injured now. So he still has a lot to prove. He came up in the AHL very well. He won with the Springfield Thunderbirds. Took him all the way to the Calder Cup. They just lost. So he's definitely made his way. But again, I think this is a tough spot for them with a healthy Ranger team that does still need to win. They're not.
And Jansen and Orlov play on Washington, right?
Yeah, they both play on Washington.
You sure?
I can say that without even looking at it. Yeah. Put my whole apartment on it here. Christmas tree too.
Okay. I'm going to trust you on that one. I'm going to trust you. All right. I'm on the Rangers. What's your play again?
I'm on the Rangers too, brother. I'm taking it regulation plus 110. I bet that at already. And then Washington team total under as well, plus 105. I'm going to take that. A bit more of a gut feel on that. You could say the stats don't maybe back it up as much, but I expect this Rangers team to start winning.
All right, sounds good. Let's move on. Boston, Ottawa. I don't know. Boston is just dominant. How long do you think this is going to continue, Mr. Gokster? That's the big question. Are we going to see? You always, no matter how great a team is, at some point, oftentimes right before the All-Star break, you'll see the elite teams, especially in like the NHL and NBA, maybe slack a little bit and be bad ATS or be overvalued. Is that going to happen to Boston? I'm not sure. They're a huge favorite here against Ottawa. Ottawa lost 3 in a row, but before that they had won 4 in a row, and I know that they're having some injuries, right? Like a bunch of guys are day to day, like Jake Sanderson and a few guys like that. What's your take on Boston? Are they just going to continue to dominate? Or will we see a period where they're actually overvalued and a big favorite and only winning half their games?
Well, this Boston team, quickly go over the special teams, guys. On the road, 7th power play, 2nd best penalty kill. So I think it's going to be tough for Ottawa to score, to be honest, Pete. Sanderson, Brandstrom, too, day-to-day. Mott and Chartier, a guy they called up from Belleville here. They've actually called up another player here, Jake Lucchini. I don't know if any of you guys know Jake Lucchini, but he's earned his spot up here on the 3rd line now with Gambrell and Kelly. But it's a two-line hockey team, really, if you ask me. Their back end, Sanderson, he could be playing, but again, Pete, this is a banged up hockey team on the back end that's already weak defensively. You got Talbot going, who's 2-5 at home with a .91 save percentage, which is okay, but they don't get the production, it seems like, when they need it. Looking at their power play penalty kill, they are 11th in the league on the power play, but they're 25th on the penalty kill. So their penalty kill is going to be problematic here against Boston, I think, Pete. The moneyline parlay, it's early. We're going to take it, but I wanted to have Boston in here. Moneyline parlay with the Carolina in regulation. Allmark, too. He's 8-1, excuse me, with a .933 save percentage, 2.09 goals against. I'm not going to overthink this one, Pete. Just 3 goals against for Talbot. Washington. The break could definitely help maybe Talbot, because this team they were doing okay. But last 4 matchups in this game, too, 4-1 to the under. Also, Ottawa's team total in the last 5 games at home, Pete, they're 1-4 to the over. So they're 4-1 to the under right there, guys. And you're going up against one of the best defensive teams in the league, if you ask me, in Boston, who are healthy as well. You got a healthy Boston team, banged up Ottawa team. I think this line should be a little more, if you ask me, for Boston. So I'm adding this in the money line parlay. You can get that at plus 113. And if there hasn't been a goal yet, there has been, damn it. I was going to say take Finland in regulation over Slovakia, guys, but Finland just scored. So,
oh man, okay.
Juice.
Yeah, so Boston is, so this line, Boston opened as a big favorite, and they're an even bigger favorite now. And looking at the site where we look at, there is small line value on Boston, according to this site, not a sliver, about a quarter of a bar of line value here on Boston. The bigger bets coming in on the under as of right now. So you think Boston is definitely for real at least for the near future?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Well, Ottawa team, this is like my team in my backyard, Pete. So I feel like I know this Ottawa team, when to take them, when not to take them. And here it's team total under is going to be another addition actually for me. Ottawa team total under 2.5 minus 105. I really don't think it's going to be easy for them scoring. Only way we're in danger here, guys, if it's Ottawa if they come out strong, which they do in the first period. But again, Pete, Boston's just so good at closing out games, winning games, and with a banged up back end for Ottawa here, with even Brandstrom, Sanderson, they're 2 young players, but they don't have much to call up in Belleville. They got Hetherington too, who they called up. This guy guaranteed some win. Didn't go too well for him. I don't think this is just a way too tough of a test for most of this Ottawa team. There's not I think if they were healthier, Even, you know what, they really need, once they get Norris back, I think he's coming back in March, Pete, but that guy, I'm telling you, he's a centerman. He's a lot of offense, he just makes a lot of other players better around him too. So once he comes back, I'll be betting on Ottawa a lot more, but right now I can't.
Okay, North Ender talking about EPL overs, and yeah, I want to find some overs on this card to take some shots with. It does seem like that's the way to go. And comment section, Real Deal Prime doesn't even want to talk about it. Boston next game. How can Ottawa beat Boston? Small chance. Real Deal Prime is labeling this game, it appears, almost no-brainerish / low-hanging fruitish. Oh, wow. And diehard MMA podcast saying Bruins just seem to be doing the keep doing the damn thing. All right. Wow.
And there is one thing, back-to-back for Boston at New Jersey tomorrow, so they will be playing a back-to-back. But you're coming off 4 days rest, so I'm not taking that into account too much.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna hold off just because it's just first game after Christmas. It's just so crazy to take a bet. Yeah, Boston might be a no-brainerish play. All right. Next game, Pittsburgh and Islanders. Right. Yeah. Pittsburgh lost 2 of 3, but both of those losses were to Carolina. So that is, if any couple of losses are forgivable, those would be it. And other than that, rolling, right? 12-2, 14 games before those last 3. And the Islanders off a nice win, but they had generally been losing before that. 3-8 in their last 11 before the Florida win. So, Pittsburgh had been rolling with 2 extremely excusable losses. The Isles very beatable, just a small home dog line here for the Isles. At first glance, this seems like why would Pittsburgh be such a low road favorite, maybe suspiciously low? What's your take on this one, Gogi?
Yeah, I was kind of agreeing with that. Why are they so low here? Especially with the injuries for the Islanders. Pellick's out here, Clutterbuck, Palmieri, Varlamov. Looks like Brock Nielsen's going to be in along with Cizikas, so that's good for the Islanders. But again, Holmstrom, he's day-to-day, and this guy's a young stud for them, up-and-coming player. Crazy special teams here, guys. Listen to this. At home, the Islanders are 30th in the league on the power play, Pete. They're only 14%, but their penalty kill, number 1, 88% in the league at home. So right away, it makes me think unders when you got goaltending in Yari and Sorokin. Mm-hmm. Yari's coming off a 4-goal loss to an overtime before that. Win against the Rangers, 2 goals. Win against Florida, 2 goals. He's got a 6-2 with a .906 save percentage, 3.11 goals against. He's a better goalie at home, but both teams are just Pittsburgh's on a back-to-back tomorrow. Where I'm going to look here, 4 of the last 5, Pistol. They've gone under in the first period. 5 of the last 6 have gone under in the first period. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under. So I'm going to be taking no goal in the first 9 minutes here. And I'm taking first period under 1.5 plus 110. I don't see the trends changing here. You also have the 7th best penalty kill in Pittsburgh. So you have top 10 penalty kills. Power play for Pittsburgh on the road is 15th in the league. And again, 30th for the Islanders. So I don't think the Islanders are going to score too much here. I have written down also Pittsburgh on the money line. I almost feel like it's like a trap. Why is this? Is there any line value here, Pete? I'd love to hear if there's any line value because I'm leaning towards Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, first of all, the line has moved a bit since the overnight line. Moved about 10 cents in Pittsburgh's favor. According to the site we look at, there is a very small amount of line value on Pittsburgh, according to this site, more than a sliver, but less than a quarter bar. A little bit of line value on Pittsburgh, and the line has moved in their favor, which makes sense. Usually, when you see a line, especially a road favorite line, suspiciously low, it'll move like 5 cents even more in the home dog's direction, and then the home dog is the way to go. Yeah. But that is not what we are seeing here. Some movement in Pittsburgh favor, some significant movement, and the majority of the bets are coming in on the under. 40% of the tickets and 65% of the cash on the under, and actually the bigger bets coming in on the Islanders. But again, small line value on Pittsburgh, and line movement in Pittsburgh's direction.
Yeah, you know what might even be a play, maybe even the Islanders team total under, because I'm just looking at Pittsburgh here, guys. They've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 of their last 6 have gone under, and they've only allowed their opponents to score 3 goals once. Well, they lost the last game, but once to Carolina. And you got an Islander team that doesn't score much in their power play. They're banged up too. More so, I'd say defensively. Well, they're missing Clutterbuck and Palmieri, still Pellick. and Holmstrom. So I don't think the Islanders are going to score too much. I'm just trying to see if I can pull that up real quickly here, guys. But Islanders team total under, Pete, 2.5. If it's not more than like minus 140, it's plus 100.
Yeah, but it's just, the Islanders, it's just like taking these, like, especially home teams, team total under 2.5 is just so treacherous. Not that they don't cash, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, the Islanders suck offensively or whatever. But, look at their recent games. They're not really winning a lot of the games. They're still going over 2.5 goals a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. Pittsburgh's completely healthy. It's going to be a back-to-back. You got Yari going. So if there's going to be an under, I wouldn't want an under tomorrow if they do have DeSmith going. They could have Yari, though. It's just the penalty kills, Pete. Yeah. I don't see many power play goals happening here with those penalty kills. Offensively, yeah, the Islanders have been scoring, but for the most part, this is a slow grind team. Same with Pittsburgh has a little more offense, but they're an older hockey team coming off the break too. A lot of turkey in them. And the trend too, guys. 5 of the last 6 have gone under, and I don't see nothing stands out to me that this can be an over. Sorokin too, Pete. He's playing really good. He lost in overtime or in a shootout, allowing 0 goals to Colorado, 4 against the Rangers, but then bounced back with a win against Florida with 1 goal against. So I'm going to lay off Pittsburgh here. I'm not going to take Pittsburgh, but I am going to be confident here with first period under, no goal first 9 minutes, minus 105, plus 110. And I have a pretty strong lean to the Islanders team total under 2.5 plus 100.
Okay, great. Diehard MMA podcast says Islanders offense feels like it got unlocked a bit. Healthy Pitt is scary. This is going to be a pass for me. Although if you gave me a free play, I'd throw it on. I'd throw it on Pittsburgh based on everything I'm seeing. But definitely going to be a pass for me. And Rocco Rogers, like the Penguins, money line minus 130. There you go.
I can see a 2-1 Pittsburgh game, like a 3-2. I really don't see this one getting too high up there. Only thing maybe would be Pittsburgh scoring a lot, but again, against Sorokin at home, I don't see it.
North Ender telling us that the totals in both of the upcoming bowl games are headed down. The Buffalo Georgia Southern total getting bat down doesn't bother me that much, but the Utah State total does. Now he says it's down to 57. All right, so it's probably a loss for me. I bet the over in both of those, although I got a good number in the Georgia Southern game. Utah State game, I got 58.5. That was probably in retrospect a bad bet. All right, let's move on. Gogi, Dallas, and Nashville. I don't know. Dallas kind of 50-50-ish overall. Nashville kind of inconsistent. I don't really have a great feel or read on either of these teams. They won a couple recently, Nashville, but before that, they, of course, had lost 6 in a row. They were scuffling, but earlier in the year, they were winning a bit. So what is Nashville's current condition as a team, and what should we expect from a 50-50-ish kind of team like Dallas coming off the break? That's why we have guest experts on these shows, because I have no clue, but Mr. Gokster probably does. What do you think, Gogi?
And everyone in the chat, bring it in there, because I said Kucherov played for 4 different teams today, so I might need some help. Dallas, Nashville, right away, Pete. Nashville, yeah, this team's very up and down. Yeah, I feel like I have a hard time getting their number, but some stats that I do like to look at here for Nashville, their team total under 2.5, or at least their team total under for that matter, is 3-7 to the under, Pete, at home. 1-4 in the last 5 games. And you got Dallas here and a goaltender in Ottinger, who's 5-2, Pete, on the road with a .941 save percentage and a 2.01 goals against. Those are really good numbers.
Yeah.
Saros, on the other hand, he's a much better home goalie, 8-4, .926 save percentage, 2.43 goals against. He's coming off a loss before the break against Colorado, but again, I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, guys. Looking at the power plays, this is the best actual road team in the league in Dallas, 32%, first in the league. And you're going up against the 20th best penalty kill at home. So Nashville gets in the box. I don't like that, to be honest, Pete. I think that could be actually the difference maker here. Both teams are pretty much healthy, but that team total under jumps out to me for Nashville. So I'm actually going to take that, guys. Nashville team total under 2.5 plus 115. Last 5 games, both teams are also 2-3 to the under. And I'm going to take Nashville too, Pete. I'm not Nashville. Whoa, not Nashville, guys. Dallas. I'm going to take Dallas minus 125 here. this isn't one I'm super confident you could say. I really think it's going to be a lower scoring game. But I think Dallas do get this one done. Special teams is a big thing here. Also, 5th best penalty kill, along with the 1st best power play. That's Dallas. So their special teams are actually surprisingly really good. Coming off the break, actually, Jamie Benn just got engaged too, I've seen. So hopefully that's not a bad thing for the guy. I know Jimmy loves Jamie Benn. But yeah, I'm gonna take team total under Nashville. Dallas money line minus 125. And I want to take the full game under 2 guys under 6 minus 110, but I'm going to lay off that one.
Okay, well that makes a lot of sense because that is how the line has moved. There's been small line movement in favor of Dallas and small line movement to the under since the overnight lines, and the site that we look at is also uncertain here. Absolutely no line value on either side as of right now. At this site that we look at, more of the bets seem to be coming in on the over, but the line movement to the under suggests that maybe some sharper action coming in on the under, and I would be leaning that way as well, except I had I'm thinking under question mark and first period under question mark, but again, with all the uncertainty after Christmas and leaning towards overs anyway, I'm going to pass on this one. But yeah, it looks like Dallas and the under are probably, as of right now,
That's yeah. And one more thing, Pete, 31% power play at home. This Nashville team does not score on the power play, and the special teams it's such a heavy special team advantage for Dallas. It's kind of what I'm leaning on here. I see no reason for them to come out flat either. Goaltenders are both strong, but special teams, give me Dallas. And also, Nashville team total under 2.5 plus 1.
Okay, well, give yourself plus 124 on that Nashville team total under. And Billy Friedrich has labeled Preds team total under 2.5 a smash spot. Wow.
Oh, Billy. Yeah.
A smash spot.
The trends in our advantage here, the special teams, like a lot of numbers are in our favor here, guys. Ottinger's numbers on the road are extremely good. 0.941 save percentage. You're going up against the 31st ranked power play. They're the first ranked penalty kill too. Power play, 5th ranked penalty kill, Dallas. So Nashville's been a weird team all year. That's the only thing. And I almost equate Dallas to like a weird LA Chargers. You never know with them either. But I think it's a lower scoring game. I feel stronger on that than I do the side.
Well, Chip Pilar says might feel like Nashville is going to have a better next 30 days. Yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I saw that. That's an interesting. I haven't caught a lot of Nashville games. They're very Jekyll and Hyde here. Just looking at the standings here, real quick, Pete. Where are they here? Nashville is 14, 13, and 5. Yeah, very middling. 82 goals for, 98 against. They don't score a lot either. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's move on. Minnesota and Winnipeg. This is an interesting one. Minnesota, of course, started the season kind of crappy, giving up a lot of goals, and they really have turned it around, right? They lost their last game. Before that, they had won a bunch in a row at 12-3, the last 15. Really turned it around and started winning. Some of our astute NHL handicappers in the comment section were definitely predicting that and calling for it. And Winnipeg, Hellebuck is great, but in general, they're just not a great team adding it all together, right? They've lost 3 out of their last, or the 3 and 5 out of their last 8. Yep. And, in general, Winnipeg is a beatable team. So if this might be, again, this is another one where I understand that Hellebuck at home is not something you necessarily want to bet against, but in light of how strong Minnesota has been over the past bunch of weeks, again, I was slightly surprised to see such a small favorite line for Minnesota on the overnight line, almost even on both sides. What's your take on this one?
Well, to be honest, Pete, I don't think Minnesota, the goaltending is what they've been getting from Fleury. He's allowed 1 goal in the last 3 games before the break. Their power play is 31st ranked on the road. They're without Foligno, though. They're missing a Nick Foligno. I want to say Nick Foligno. I've been butchering names, but I can tell you Foligno does play for Minnesota. He's out. He's a big guy on their third line, I want to say. Also, Mason Shaw, he's out, called up from the AHL. This is a strong penalty kill hockey team, Pete. 8th ranked penalty kill. The reason why I think the Winnipeg was losing where the hell was Hellebuck? They were calling up Rittich and stuff and shit there for some games. And without Wheeler too, Perfetti, Schmidt, Stanley, those are two defensemen, and Schmidt and Stanley. Wheeler and Perfetti offensive. Wheeler being, he's been a stand-up guy there, citizen in Winnipeg for a lot of years. So just seeing their lineup, Harkins is on the second line with Lowry and Barron. They've actually picked up a Axel Janssen-Falby, butchering his name, but he's the guy with the long flow for Washington guys. They got Kevin Studlin. They got a lot of guys. Actually, I know a lot of guys on this Manitoba Moose team that should be on this team right now are playing for like Finland, playing for a lot of the World Junior teams. So they're a little thin right now. They got Sam Gagne's getting the old call up from the AHL. I think this is an under game. That's where I'm going to be looking towards. Looking defensively, Morrissey, DeMello, Pionk, Dillon, Sandberg, and then Cabianco called him up. But I'm going to go towards no goal with how well Minnesota's been playing. Their penalty kill strong. 7th best penalty kill too at home for Winnipeg. 8th best for Minnesota on the road. I'm going to take that. And I'm also going to take Winnipeg to bounce back, especially Hellebuck here. I'm going to take Minnesota team total under, Pete, 2.5 as well, plus 135. I saw there was a little line move. It was plus 115, but I'm going to take it to plus 135 now. Line movement, I guess, against me, but in my favor there. 6-9 to the team total unders. 6-9 to the over, so 9-6 to the under for Minnesota on the road in the season. And with Hellebuck having some rest, Pete, defensively, they're still fine. It's offensively here. I don't expect a lot of goals. You know what? Maybe Winnipeg would be the team total under as well. But just looking at the power play, for Minnesota, it's 31% on the road. So I don't think it's going to have to be 5-on-5, and it's going to be tough against Hellebuck. So give me the team total under 2.5. Like I said, plus 135, no goal, first 9 minutes, plus 100.
Yeah, well, the market has moved slightly in your favor. In your direction in both of those cases. It was about 6 even on both sides on the overnight line. Now it's moved a little bit to the under, and slight market movement in favor of Winnipeg. And yeah, I'll tell you, I say this all the time, Mr. Gokster, slightly below average minds think alike, because I wrote down here, I'm thinking maybe Minnesota team total under. But then my next note is, but careful, Winnipeg easily puts up 4 regularly. But you're saying that the Minnesota team that had such regular, nice scoring games is not the one that we're going to see here.
Well, I think even Winnipeg, I don't think it's not like Minnesota's going to have to keep up with Winnipeg here. I think both goaltenders are playing really well. Winnipeg's missing a lot of offense, Pete. I can tell you right now, this isn't a normal Winnipeg team. So they got.
All right, I'm just talking about Minnesota. I misspoke. Minnesota team total under. Yeah.
Minnesota team total under 2.5. I do like that. More I'm thinking of this game. I would have actually, if I didn't see this lineup for Winnipeg, guys, I would have probably been on Winnipeg, like money line, to be honest here. But with their lineup, I'm not sure if they can win the game, close it out. But defensively, I do think they should be fine. It could be again another 2-1, maybe a full game under could just be the play here. Maybe I'm getting cute with the Minnesota 2.5, Pete, but don't expect many goals here. I really do think, even though he's 6-3, Fleury with a .879 goals against, 3.34, save percentage, 3.34 goals against. This Winnipeg offense doesn't look like it's doing a lot to me tonight.
Spencer Penije says, if it's Helly, give me the Jets. Helly is confirmed. And he had the reason he was out for a few games earlier was there was a flu going around the team. And supposedly that's gone now. So, and Slatsy's on the Jets money line. Now line is moved against me plus 105 now at bet 365. But and Die Hard MMA podcast would look Jets too. All right, you know what? I think I'm going to take both of them. I'm going to take Winnipeg. I think it's just that like Minnesota's been so good, but yeah, I mean Winnipeg.
I don't know, boys. I don't know. It's moved. The line just moved actually towards Winnipeg there. This Minnesota team is a physical. Like this is a tough team to play against, and they got a lot of guys that aren't normally like smaller guys too that aren't normally. Let's just say 2-3 years on this team. Like they got a lot of guys that haven't played a lot, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Right. It's a big hockey team they're going up against. Not so much offensive, as I say, with their power play, but defensively they're fine. You're getting good goaltending from Fleury. It's going to be a tough game for Winnipeg here. I don't want anything to do with the side. I hope Winnipeg cashes for everybody if you are on them, but under I feel like it's the play here.
think you're right. All right, I'm just going to make one play here. I just bet it. I'm going to take Heritage line, Minnesota team total under 3.5 minus 155. Minnesota team total under 3.5 minus 155. Helly is legit good. If he gives up 4, if they get 4 on him, I'll eat the 1.5 and loss. But that's the way I was thinking.
Yeah,
and
I like you got the 30 with that number 2, 31st ranked power play. I like this one. Also, they got the 7th ranked penalty kill too. And I'm looking at overall guys home and road split. So this is the full 3 or 4 months, which is a decent little sample size, right, Pete, that we're getting. So.
All right. So, and as far as the site that we look at, interesting, 75% of the tickets and 99% of the cash on Winnipeg, but no line value. So none of that money is respectable according to this site that we look at. And I'm not going to take it either. I'm just going to take the Minnesota team total under. All right, Mr. Gogser, let's move on to Toronto and St. Louis. Yeah, man, another tough one. I mean, St. Louis lost 2 in a row, but they had won 4 in a row before that. And then Toronto, in general, playing very well. They closed with 2 nice wins. They do get their losses here and there, but they were kind of disappointing regularly in the beginning of the season, which we see a lot from Toronto. And then they started to win a lot more consistently. Now they're a huge road favorite here. I'm not sure what to make of this one, but maybe I will after I hear what the comment section and Mr. Gogster have to say about this game. What's your take on this, Gogi?
All right, guys. Yeah, Toronto, St. Louis. Cairo is going to be out for St. Louis, so that's he hasn't been performing like he was last year, Pete. This guy had a high upside this year, but he really isn't performing up to what they thought he could do. But Pavel Buchnevich has been back for this team on the second line. Thomas and Tarasenko, excuse me, they're getting some more offense. Buchnevich is a big part of this team, in my opinion. The first line, Sato, Riley, Shen. It's a real experienced hockey team. Third line here, Akari, Levo. It's a good hockey team, in my opinion. They're better than what we've seen. It's just their back end. And I'm not talking their defense. I'm talking their goaltender. Binnington, he's just been really bad, Pete. 4 goals against Vegas, lost. Then he had a win against Vancouver, win 3 goals against Edmonton. But he's 5-6 at home with a .893 goal save percentage, 3.05 goals against. And then on the other hand, you got Matt Murray, who was leftover trash pistol for Ottawa. And, if no one wants you in Ottawa, you think, why would Toronto want him? But you know what? If there's one guy I got to tip my cap so far, it's been Matt Murray and Samsonov. Murray's 5-2 with a .932 save percentage, 2.25 goals against. But Toronto's only got a 29% power play, Pete, on the road. They're not scoring as much on the road as you'd think, but this could be the perfect matchup for them because you got Binnington in a 29th ranked penalty kill at home. 7th ranked power play, though, for St. Louis. I think we're going to see some goals. I think this could be the game with some goals, despite Murray has looked good. And I know I was on this one against Dallas. I thought there'd be goals, and Toronto won 4-0. I want to see him do it again. St. Louis has been a team that needs wins even more. I was talking about Rangers need wins. St. Louis, they had one of the worst starts you could think of. Injury bug did hit this team, but they're pretty much healthy. Just looking their back, and they don't have Krug still, but Calle Rosen, Justin Falk, Parenko, Leddy, even Mikola and Bertuzzo. I expect better from this St. Louis team. I'm not going to take the side guys. I almost want to take first period both teams to score, plus 155. Toronto's 4-1, Pete, on the road in the first period over. But then looking at St. Louis, they're 0-5 to the first period over. So they've been a heavy under team. I don't think that's going to continue here, though, in this game. Injury report quickly. Sandin's still out. Robertson and Mete are out. A couple guys came back there. Brody's back for Toronto, which does help, Pete. But this feels like a goal. Could be a goal fest, especially with the special teams I listed off.
All right. So this might be one of these post-Christmas overs to look at. As far as the side is concerned, small line value on Toronto, according to the site that we look at. And again, 22% of the tickets on St. Louis, 90% of the cash on St. Louis, but line value on Toronto, according to the site that we look at. And the line has moved a little bit in Toronto's favor. So that makes me think, don't be afraid of the big road favorite line here. I'm thinking Toronto may be the way to go. Total is roughly split 50-50 on the tickets and about 60-40 in favor of the over on the cash, but nothing terribly noteworthy. But so who's in goal for we want to keep a crisp pace, but who's in goal for St. Louis?
Binnington. Jordan Binnington, the guy who likes to take shots at players anytime he can. Guy's a menace.
What about Toronto team total over maybe?
3.5. What is it?
How bad is Binnington?
Well,
3.5 minus 105. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Their penalty kill's been bad at home. Toronto's offense has been humming all year. They got probably 3 of the best players, top 5 players in the league right now. One addition I want to make, actually, I don't usually do this. Here it is right now. I'm going to take, this guy hasn't done much, but look for the second half of the season. This guy's going to wake up. Take a guess who it is, Pete, for Toronto.
I don't know any of the players' names, so I can't even give a guess.
Okay, well, I'll give this guy's probably their best player was drafted number 1. It's Austin Matthews.
Oh, yeah. No, I was kidding. I know all the players. I just wanted to make that joke there. I just wanted to go for the joke. Yeah, Austin Matthews. Yeah, you think he's going to have a big second half, huh?
He's going to have a second half. Marner had that crazy streak. Matthews been kind of quiet. I think this is a perfect spot for him, too. Get him on the power play. Matthews to score anytime, guys. I'm going to add that, actually. I'm going to bet that after the show. Plus 105 I found here. Some other books had minus 120, so shop around. Plus 105. Matthews, anytime goal scorer. It's in agreement with your 3.5 team total over. I think one of those will be Matthews here. Centerman here with Bunting, Nylander. Yeah, Matthews has been too quiet for too long. I think Matthews is going to score here.
Jeez, all right. Diehard MMA podcast cannot figure out the Blues for the life of him. I do not trust Binnington. Mal, heavy lean over at 6.5. And Spencer Penije wants to fade the Leafs and take St. Louis, but they're still so streaky. Billy Friedrich likes the Blues on the money line. Wow. Real Deal Prime says Binnington might need some mental health days. Wow. Maybe I'll just take Toronto, and if St. Louis wins, it might be a 5-4 game anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, look at this. Look at the over, Pete. I'm seeing a 6 currently right now, minus 110, Toronto, St. Louis. I'm taking that right away, minus 110.
Wow. Oh my God. It's crashed.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know why. I don't see why it would be crashing. What, Grice is in net over Binnington? What?
No, Binnington. But Gogi, on the overnight line, this was 6.5 juice to the over. Now it's 6 juice to the under. All right, I'm staying off this. I'm staying way the hell off this game. If all you wackos want to bet it one way or another, I hope you all cash. I'm not taking it.
I don't care. Give me the over. I don't care. Give me the over.
Really?
Oh yeah. I don't. You know what, Pete? This is. I feel like I got a little Christmas gift from the books here. It's a late Christmas gift. All this money's coming down. You know what? Give me that 6 to the over, minus 110. At that number, I'm going to take it. You're telling me Binnington's going to shut him out? Yeah, this guy's from Richmond Hill and whatnot. I don't care. And the power play could be better for Toronto. It is ranked 29th, but you're going up against a bad goalie and a bad penalty kill that's ranked 29th at home. No Kyrou. It's one offensive player for St. Louis.
Torrey Krug is out for the Blues.
Yeah, I know he was out. Defensively, St. Louis should be better than what they are. Torrey Krug, I'd say he would push the pace a little bit more, but just the way these two hockey teams are going to play, I don't see it. It's not a lower scoring game. I could sound like a homer here, guys. It could be a 2-1 Blues or Leafs or whatever, but I would be highly surprised. I'm thinking this is going to be like a 5-3, 4-3 St. Louis, 5-3 Toronto kind of game. I don't want the side really. I think Toronto's going to win personally, but don't have a good record.
Well, it's going to pass for me. Write down your official play, Mr. Gokster, and let's move on. Colorado, Arizona. I don't know. Colorado rolling, of course, won 4 in a row, all low scoring, of course. They're doing it with strong defense now. They have a bunch of injuries, but they're adjusting, playing a strong defense-oriented game, getting wins, and their games are going under. And then Arizona, not great, of course. They did win their last game. They've been actually all right at home this year. They have some big underdog wins at home and some big underdog close games where they're, plus 1.5 or plus 2, lines had some value. And here we have Colorado as a huge road favorite, total 6. You got anything here?
Yeah, I wasn't going to play anything, but you know me, Pete, I like to try to find an angle, and I think I do like this angle here. It's going to be the no goal in the first 9 minutes. Arizona's 1-3-1 in the first period over-unders. Looking at Colorado, the last 10 games on the road, Pete, 3-6-1. Goaltending, Vejmelka, and that little small 5,000 seat arena. He's 5-0, Pete. He's lost a couple times in overtime, but he's 5-0 with a .917 save percentage, 2.88 goals against. And then you got Georgiev, 8-3 with a .922, 2.60. This coming off the break, you're also missing Michelli. He's an up-and-coming player for Arizona. Clint will know all about him. He was a real bright spot for him, so he's going to be out now, I believe, for a while. Also O'Brien, power play, penalty kill. 25th power play for Arizona. You're looking at the 12th best for Colorado, but early in this game, also Nichushkin's out for Colorado, or at least day-to-day. Cogliano, Manson's out, and looking at McKinnon and Landeskog, which took them to the Stanley Cup pistol. They're skating again, which is good, but this is a team that doesn't have the full capability of putting up 4 or 5 right now. And I think coming off the break, first periods too have been heavy trends to the under for both these teams, home road splits. So I would lean to the first period under as well, but I seem to gravitate towards the no goal first 9 minutes plus 100.
Yeah.
In this
well,
one.
This total has crashed on the overnight line. When I looked at it, the total was 6. Now it's down to 5.5 juice to the under. So that's a huge move to the under. I don't know if any of the people who bet that line to get it that low would take it now at 5.5 minus 118 to the under or something like that. But a huge move to the under, small move to Arizona as well. And as far as the money is concerned, very teeny sliver of line value on Arizona, according to this site that we look at. I don't know, maybe Arizona +2 or something like that has a little bit of value. But yeah, a clear huge move to the under, market wide move to the under. Arizona +2 minus 197 or +2.5 minus 248. I don't know, that's a little bit dicey, but I think I'm going to pass on this one as well.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a game. I don't want to say I didn't force anything here. It kind of just came to me here in this one. That's the Colorado Arizona. Just their first period under trends have been heavy all year. And coming off this break, you got goaltenders that play better on these home road splits. Georgiev's solid road goalie, and Vejmelka definitely a goalie you want to take at home.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. Next game on the card: Edmonton, Calgary. Here's an interesting one. This was Elliot V's favorite game on the card. Early in the segment, he said Vancouver moneyline fading Calgary. Okay. Edmonton, of course, had been playing well, but they've lost 4 of 5. Calgary won 3 of 4 on their recent road trip, but that was all as a fave. They were road fave in all those games. They were playing, teams they were clearly better than. Before that, they had lost 5 in a row, and they were not great before that either. So Calgary kind of underwhelming. Then they go on a road trip against inferior competition. They win 3 of 4. As a favorite in each one, and now they come back as a home favorite against Edmonton, who's also been losing. And Elliot V seems to love Vancouver. Oh no, sorry. Oh, he said Vancouver, right? So okay, right. So he said he likes Vancouver money line and fading Calgary. So I'm assuming that he likes both Vancouver and Edmonton here. I'm guessing Elliot V likes Edmonton. I have no opinion as of right now. I still have in my brain that Calgary is just a quality team and a strong defensive team, but that might be wrong. What's your take on this game?
Yeah, I'm seeing everyone in the chat. This is an over. Billy likes the over. Battle of Alberta. It's always, if you want to tune into a hockey game, Pete, tune into this one. These are always cagey, good affairs. I have a lot written down here. Skinner and Markstrom, though, looking at these goaltenders, Pete, both of these goalies have goals against above 3. So right away, doesn't help their cases. The big thing, though, special teams, third best power play for Edmonton, but then Calgary counters that with the 6th best penalty kill. So kind of wipes that out. And then looking at the power play penalty kill for Calgary and Edmonton, Calgary's got the 20th ranked power play at home, but then Edmonton's got the 25th ranked penalty kill on the road. So I lean towards Calgary here. The line, though, is favored for Calgary, which, that's tough for me to trust Calgary in a favored spot against Edmonton. First period, both teams to score. I don't mind plus 140. Full game over 6.5. I have written down, and both teams to score even 3 goals. I don't mind. Looking at Edmonton, though, they are 3-9-4, Pete, on the road in the first period to the under. Calgary, they're 13-4-1 to the over in the first period. So I think if Calgary, I think Edmonton's going to be able to keep up with Calgary, and that number for first period over under is heavy Calgary to the over. So I'm leaning to the over here. First period, both teams to score in pistol. Other than that, buddy, it's going to be a tough hockey game. I wouldn't be on an under. I can't trust another. Looking at Stuart Skinner. Shout out to our Babano. Let's hear it there. Skinner here. He's been to the office several times. 4 goals against, bad Skinner. 3 goals against, bad Skinner. 4 goals against, bad Skinner. So it's tough for me to believe in these goaltenders. Markstrom's got a lot to desire still. He's the better of the 2 goalies, but he's got to play better hockey, Pete. He's been a bit of a flub. That 886 save percentage at home, not going to be easy with Edmonton and McDavid coming in company. So give me the first period over. You know what? Talk myself into it. First period over is going to be my play on this game.
Why did Edmonton have a problem scoring against Vancouver in their last game? Is something wrong with this team offensively?
I wouldn't say anything would necessarily be wrong with them. Let me just bring that up quickly here because there'd be several reasons. Last game before the break there, that's what it was, Pete.
And you think Calgary is not sort of the tough defensive team that they usually are or try to be?
Well, just look at Edmonton. Well, it's more so. I think with Edmonton here, they're heavy over. Their opponent team total over was hitting over 3 last 6-7 games. So Edmonton defensively is what really worries me. They can't go to Jack Campbell. I don't even think he's hurt. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but they've gone to Stuart Skinner as just trying to ride the hot hand, but I don't think he's the hot hand at all going forward. Calgary, they did beat San Jose twice, lost to LA Kings and beat Anaheim. So they beat really weak opponents, teams that don't necessarily score a lot. That's why I think they're able to win those games. So you got to think this is an over. If you even want to maybe take it down a little bit, maybe a 5.5 and a parlay, I wouldn't talk anybody off. Both teams to score 2 goals. I talked about that before. It's probably be about -280 in this game. It's going to be up there, but I think both teams to score 2 goals in a parlay would even be a good play as well. But I'm taking the +140, guys. First period, both teams to score. Those trends, Pete, to the overs, I don't see much changing. I really don't.
All right. Well, the line has moved slightly in Edmonton's favor. And you know what? I'm going to take a shot with the over here. I'll do the little safe play, but it might be a smart thing to do. I'm going to take over 6 -143. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I'm going to take over 6 -143. Edmonton, Calgary, over 6 -143. I'll make that an official play. And the first period over is probably a good play too, but I don't really want to double up on any of these games. First period would be, wow, look at -164. Wow, really expecting early. I'm sorry?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think there'd be a lot of goals early too.
That's at Pinnacle. At Pinnacle, the full game is 6.5 -112, but the first period is actually 2 +114 or 1.5.
Perfect.
-164.
Perfect. So yeah, I'm on the both teams to score, Pete. Then the first period +140. So I think I might have found the number there. I like that.
Yeah.
Quickly looking at the first period over unders. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the last 7 have gone first period over 1.5. Both teams to score hasn't hit as much, but that if you want to throw both or first period over 1.5 and a parlay again, guys, that's even straight up. That number's not even. You maybe shop around, find a better number, but you got to think there'll be goals, Pete.
All right, well, let's go. We have to keep a brisk pace. We have 2 more games: San Jose and Vancouver. I can tell you that this game has the side with the most line value by far out of any other game on the card. You know, we love this. I love asking Mr. Gokster which side he thinks it is. Elliot V loves Vancouver. Early in the show, he posted Vancouver money line. Vancouver, very up and down. Another one of these hard to predict teams that they've had some sort of surprisingly bad runs and then put it together and gotten some wins in some high scoring games. San Jose, of course, not a great team. They won their last game, but before that, not good. 4-12, last 16. Generally a team that can be beat. Vancouver, a home favorite here. And I don't really know what I think. The total is high, which is what you would expect. When I first looked at this game, I was thinking maybe Vancouver team total over. I don't know. What do you think, Gogi?
Well, I got some action on this one, Pete. I feel pretty confident in it, too. That's San Jose, first period money line, +118. Looking at Vancouver, first period money line for Vancouver, Pete, at home, they're 2-7-7. They've only won a first period, guys, twice out of 16 games. They've pushed 7, lost 7. Looking at San Jose, they've won 7, lost twice and pushed 7 times. So 14 of 16, they've either won or pushed at home, and we're getting plus 118. I think that's a very friendly number we're getting there. So based on those numbers, and it's a pretty healthy hockey team. They finally got Hurdle back, I know, from suspension. Vancouver, Dermott, he's doing AHL conditioning. But you have the 6th best penalty kill. There's a big advantage here defensively, if you ask me, for San Jose. 6th best penalty kill, 83%. You're looking at Vancouver's penalty kill, as you guys can guess, they're in the bottom half. 31st, 67th, Pete. So I don't think it's going to be tough for San Jose to score here. I also have San Jose team total over 2.5, but it's minus 150. I don't like taking anything, too high, but I have a hard time seeing that not hitting. Martin, he's not been good at all, Pete. This guy's allowed 5 goals in his last 3 games, 5 to Seattle, 5 to St. Louis, 5 to Winnipeg, all of those at home. You could say he's going to bounce back here, but I don't see it happening. I'm going to take San Jose first period, guys, plus 118. And I have a strong lean towards the San Jose team total over 2.5. It's hit in 10 of 16 games as well for San Jose on the road. So, and Martin's allowed 5 goals in his last 3 games, and they got the 2nd worst penalty kill in the league at home. And also a good thing going for San Jose, guys, Reimer's 5-2 on the road compared to like 2-8 at home. And he's got a .925 save percentage, 2.33 goals against. This San Jose team, guys, low key is a good road team. So maybe even a full game money line on San Jose. I wouldn't talk anyone off that, but I'm going to take the first period, Pete.
All right. And who do you expect in goal? Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be Delia. He's who's listed. And I guess that would indicate
Colin Delia. Well, that's again desperado situation. They're just going with the hot hand, but he could be pulled at any point in time in that game. Colin Delia, he's good California kid. California goaltenders don't like to hate on them. There's not many of them, but Colin Delia, wish him the best here.
Yeah. The Die Hard MMA podcast says Canucks are such a dumpster fire right now. Last game I was not expecting. Lance LaRose likes Canucks and the over. And I won't ask you, Mr. Gokster. The side here with value, which you can probably tell from the line movement, according to the site we look at, is San Jose. About 33% of the tickets, 70% of the cash on San Jose, and a little bit more than half line value on San Jose over the dumpster fire of Vancouver. Elliot V liking Vancouver, but yeah, this is an interesting one. And the majority of the tickets and the money coming in on the over. Hey, what happened? Where'd he go?
Hey, Pete, sorry.
Oh,
a little connection issue. That's the first time the old Max had a little bit of an issue there, but we're back.
Yeah, God, I look good when it's split screen. Full screen, I look fucking scary a little bit. So, yeah. All right. So you're going to take San Jose first period. Yeah.
Yeah.
San Jose is the side with the most line value according to this site that we look at. Vancouver is a dumpster fire, but they are still like really unpredictable. San Jose not good. I'm just going to pass. I was thinking about Vancouver team total over, and I'll pass on that as well. All right, the last game on the card is Vegas and LA. Vegas 1-2 in a row, kind of 50-50 right now, but this year, of course, very good on the road. Really impressively good on the road. And LA lost their last game, but they had won 4 in a row before that. I was thinking maybe after the break, maybe Vegas with the lines pretty much, minus 110 on both sides, or maybe LA team total under. I mean, Vegas is good. They've got, the coach makes them play a strong defense-oriented game. They've been great on the road. So my first thoughts were Vegas and maybe LA team total under. What do you think?
Tough game. Just a really tough game for me here. Some stats for you guys. First period money line. Vegas hasn't been down, Pete. I have in the first period money lines. They're 7-0-3. Looking at the first period money line for LA Kings at home, 2-6-6. So I did want to take the LA Kings early here, but I can't with those numbers. I'm leaning towards no goal in the first 9 minutes here. Don't have a strong lean towards it, though. There's no Kaliev. He's a power play specialist for the LA Kings, so he's going to be out. That hurts them offensively a bit here. Coming off the break, no Theodore, no Whitecloud, Cotter, Eichel, and Marchessault are all out. I believe Marchessault might be day-to-day, but I know Eichel and Cotter are out still. 4th best power play for Vegas, but with those injuries, I don't see that continuing. LA Kings 8th best penalty kill, but you're missing again Kaliev, so I'm not going to play this one, but I would look towards, guys, no goal in the first 9 minutes, maybe a full game under here. But again, Quick has not been the greatest. Maybe I think the break is what Quick definitely needed, Pete. He's coming off a loss, 1 goal against Arizona, 6 against Columbus, and then 5 against Toronto. He's got a .891 save percentage, 3.27 goals against at home, 5-4. And Thompson, he's been pretty good. But again, let's see what he does in the second half of the season. This is his first time really up in the NHL. And one thing you guys want to know about Laurent Brossoit, that's been the guy. He had surgery, so Thompson's take the reins. But Brossoit, Pete, he's on the AHL. Henderson Silver Knights, guys. If anyone in Vegas want to catch a game, check out how Brossoit's doing. But he's eventually going to come back. So when they have him back, they're going to have 2 good goaltenders. Hopefully, Brossoit, take maybe a couple games to get back in the flow of things. That's why he's at the AHL level. But Vegas should be. They're going to be there in the playoffs. But keep an eye on when Brossoit comes back.
All right. Well, the line has moved a little bit in LA's favor and towards the over, in fact, which is interesting. So I'm gonna pass on this one, and no line value as far as the site that we look at as of right now. Nothing of note. So I'm gonna pass. All right. It's an interesting card, a whole bunch of games, but I have only 3 picks, but I kind of like them all, and I really think that at least 2 of these picks are going to win. It's no problem to fire a lot of shots if you believe you have that many edges, but also no problem to limit yourself if you're not sure. This is a weird day in NHL, kind of an uncertain time of the year. As we've discussed, great comments from the comments section. Once again, Mr. Ghoster, I have 3 official picks. That's it. Rangers -1 +109. Minnesota team total under 3.5 -155. Edmonton Calgary over 6 -143. That's all I got, but I'm happy with it. Mr. Ghoster, please review your official plays.
All right, a lot of volume here, guys. Something for everybody. Get your pens and papers out because here we go. Carolina regulation tied in with a money line parlay with Boston, Pete. That's going to be +117. All these are going to be tweeted out too, guys. Saw someone in the chat asking the handle Eagle47_ on Twitter. I'll tweet out all my action there. But the parlay there, Carolina reg, Boston money line. I'm also going to be taking Ottawa team total under, Pete, 2.5 -105. Rangers regulation +110. Washington team total under 2.5 +105. I'm also taking no goal in the first 9 minutes +100, and the Islanders Pittsburgh, along with the first period under. That's it for the last 5 at +110. We're taking Dallas on the money line -125. Nashville team total under 2.5 +124. Thanks for that line, Pete. Minnesota Winnipeg, we're taking no goal in the first 9 minutes at +100, and we're taking, along with Pistol, I'm taking under 2.5 +135. Team total under Minnesota. St. Louis, I'm on the full game over 6, along with Matthews to score a goal +105. Colorado, Arizona, no goal in the first 9 minutes. All these are going to be smaller samples, or smaller bets too, Pete. There's not going to be $100 bets here. Edmonton, Calgary, both teams to score +140. And then San Jose, Vancouver, I'm taking San Jose. First period money line +118. Lean to the team total over 2.5.
All right, Mr. Gogster, what a great year it's been with you. It's been a lot of fun. You have a freaking great attitude. We can make any joke we want to you, around you, near you, at your expense, whatever. You love it. We all have a great time. Your insights have been so invaluable. Mr. Gogster, what a great year. Hope you have a winning day today more than any other day. I hope you have a winning day today to close out the year. Mr. Gogster, we all love you. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again next year covering NHL with us.
Pete, thank you so much. Everyone in the chat, be good. Thank you for that closeout, Pete. It's been a pleasure capping with you over all these years, Pete. It's been since like 2018 with you, buddy. So you're like an uncle to me. Thank you so much. You and Jimmy the Bad Guys. Tune in for Jimmy. I think he's back next week. I think he's still off this week. So we'll see you next week, Pete. Everyone in the chat, get that cash and let Jay.
Right on, Mr. Gogster. All right. I think I'm okay with my 3 bets in the NHL. I think we're going to be okay. Now we got a huge NBA card that we are going to cover. Huge NBA card. Again, interesting time of year. I have, just like with NHL, I have made no bets so far, but I've looked at all the games, some interesting situations. I'm thinking maybe the Knicks defense has slumped a little bit, so maybe under in the Knicks-Dallas game. It'll be interesting. We got a lot to talk about, and time is short. Please welcome our resident NBA expert analyst, Mr. Trotweb.
Yes.
Trotweb. Big card today, Trotweb.
Yes, it is. Can you hear me good? Everything's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. but the pressure is on. Big card today. Of course, we can just break this stuff down and only make one or two official plays here. There's no need to fire on every game if we don't think we have a real edge, right?
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Especially with these big cards, you got to pick your spots, man. I mean, I'm definitely cutting the fat, man, shedding the fat, trying to find the best plays that I like out of each game. So I have some plays today, so let's get to it, man. I'm happy to be here with you. Just like you said with Gogi, it's been a great year, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let's finish it off right. It's been
a lot of fun. Happy holidays to you, Trotweb, and to your family, and to your friends, and everyone in your life. All right, comment section, please help us with all these NBA games. Interesting stuff here. Let's start with, except for that Knicks game, I'll tell you right now, my take on each of these games is I have no idea. Every single game, that's my breakdown. Okay. We can just start with that. Let's start with Lakers and Orlando, right? Orlando, 10 straight ATS covers. What a team! LA, a lot of times when a star goes down, it has no real correlation to any kind of ATS trend. But as soon as Anthony Davis is out, all of a sudden, Lakers turn from a team that's covering game in, game out to a team that's losing ATS game in and game out. So now Orlando a home favorite. I don't know. Is Orlando going to? Is it a no-brainer situation where Orlando's going to cover an 11th game in a row? What do you think?
It's interesting as hell, man. Now the Lakers have won 4 straight against Orlando. They have won and covered 4 straight against these two teams. Since AD has been out, it's like, give me the over. We just want to take the over.
Right.
And it's honestly similar to the Orlando Magic. I mean, they're 3-1-1 in the first half over the last 5 first halves, 4-1 first half overs for the Lakers. So both of these teams pretty much trending in that spot, top 10 in pace as well for the last 5 games. But like you said, man, they covered 10 straight games. You kind of want to pull back the banana and see who they've been beating like this. Like they beat Toronto twice, they beat Boston twice. Have they been catching teams off guard? I mean, I don't know. I do love the play from Markelle Fultz. He's one of my favorite players. I had his over in assists. That was a good money there. But this is a tough game. I'm not going to lie. I think that you can't overlook the Lakers because they have been playing such bad defense without AD, and I expect them to play that same bad defense again against teams that want to play against them. It's just that, do you want to lay points with Orlando? They don't be favorites that often. And when they are, you know what I mean? I don't think they have been covering that much. I think they're 1-2 so far this year as a favorite. I mean, it's small sample size. They're not really favorites that much, but this is a good chance to possibly for the Lakers to go 5 straight against them. I think this is a possibly good Lakers spot. The reason why I haven't bet this because why do I want to bet the Lakers without AD? They're not going to have any defense. They're not going to be able to stop the 3-ball. And then this Magic team, they have been able to stop the 3-ball. What's been good for the Lakers, they've been shooting about 40% over the last 5 games. This team has been like top 2 in holding opponents to 3-point percentage as well in the Magic. So I kind of just want to take the over here. I want to talk to you about it, honestly, before I pull it. But I'm seeing.
Okay, you want to just be honest here? You want to just be honest?
Let's talk.
Do I want to lay 3.5 with Orlando to the Lakers? I don't want to bet any of these games. I don't want to lay any points with any of these friggin' NBA, and I don't want to take the points with any of these NBA. No, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, I am very confused about. Now, after we talk about it with you in the comment section, we look at the money. Some things can start to appear. I mean, the line has moved in the Lakers' direction, right? Overnight, it was 4.5. Now it's 3.5. So the line's moved in the Lakers' direction. The total. Well, let's see what has happened with the total. Let me just pick it up again. Yeah. So the line is the spread has moved in the Lakers' direction. Total has moved a teeny bit to the over. Looking at the site that we look at, the bigger bets are definitely on the Lakers, but no line value according to this site. So 35% of the tickets, 95% of the cash on the Lakers. So the way bigger bets coming in on the Lakers, but not necessarily respectable money. The market, the site that we look at does not indicate line value on the Lakers. And wow, the way bigger bets are coming in on the under as well, which is interesting because the total
very interesting.
25% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the under, but the total has not headed down. So that doesn't really tell us anything. Let's look at the comment section, see if anyone in the comment section has anything to say. Sharon Pulliam, clearly an Orlando spot. I mean, that was my thought, like no-brainer Orlando or full game over, no bet. Let's see.
Sherlock Pulliam also says me and Dutch are terrible sometimes, so he's questionable. He's a questionable character there.
Right, Sharon Pulliam. I don't friggin' know. Danny Lopez says Lakers early fade, Lakers early and then fade them late. Okay. Sammy Comer says, why is 90% of the cash on the Lakers?
I know why. They won 4 straight, and they actually could be, undervalued here. You know what I mean? That's kind of how the
and also the money, big money could easily come back in the other side as well. Sharon Pulliam likes Orlando first quarter official. Kadesh Dean says Orlando is going to destroy these. Wow, destroy these.
Wow. Boys. So I think a lot of that.
Billy Friedrich, Magic -3 is on my card for sure. Wow.
I think a lot of that has to do with obviously the Lakers played, on Christmas and Orlando didn't. There's going to be a lot of that today. You know what I mean? In this Japanese cards. And what team is going to be a lot more rested at the house, being a home favorite at the house after win? I'm pretty sure it's a good long track query that you can pull up, SDU query or something that you can pull up that's going to back the Orlando Magic here. I just think that Lakers may be undervalued, bro. Sometimes you got to take them when everybody wants to bet against them. And I learned that from Jimmy, man. That's why I'm leaning Lakers. I'm thinking about taking that over as official, over 15 for the first half. You can knock that in as official bet for me. That's going to be on my card today. I think it's just too many things telling me that the Lakers aren't going to play that much defense, especially being that they're on the rest advantage. And then I don't really buy in on Orlando Magic's defense. Even though they have Wendell Carter back, they got some big trees down there in Bull. I just think that there's going to be a good game for LeBron for sure, and good game for the cast members as well. So give me the over 115 in first half.
Okay, you're taking the okay
first
over.
Half over. First half over.
Oh, the first half over. Okay.
Yeah, first half over 115. -115 as well. -115 is what I got at.
Right. Some interesting comments. Huge shout out to Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly, I wish you happy holidays and your entire family and all your friends and everyone in your life. Happy holidays, Dan Kelly. And I hope you have an even better year this upcoming year than you had this past year, whatever it was. Look at this. He says, Pete, I went over this with Ski yesterday. After Christmas, these home teams get their focus back. I will be picking some home teams tonight. Okay. Whoa. And Mally Mal says Magic is free money. Wow. Rob Free, Magic first quarter been whacking. Damn. Dan Kelly also says Banchero props over. Wow. MMA Locker Room says, I guess my comments are just blind. No, they're not blind at all. Oh, there you go. They're bench over 20.5. Bet it -145. Wow. And Mally Mal Banchero also. Wow.
I agree.
Jeez.
Interesting.
Oh, shout out to Nutflush Allen. Shout out to Caden. Hell yeah. Mally Mal says Lakers in free fall. Okay. You guys are making great points here. I'm thinking maybe the Magic are the play, but I'm going to hold off for now. Let's move on. Philly, Washington. Philly covered 7 out of their last 8, rolling. Washington turned it around a little bit ATS-wise, but before that, they had a long run of ATS losing. Embiid and Harden playing great. Tyrese Maxey is going to be back. And that's a big boost for Philly. Philly's looking great. Embiid and Harden definitely rolling. Philly a small road favorite. Maybe after I hear what you in the comment section have to say, I'll make a play. As of right now, I really don't know. What's your take on this one?
Yeah, Bradley Bills went over to 22.5 points, 4 straight games. Bill and his Wizards team, they actually have been one of the better points in the paint teams over the last 5 games, scoring 59.2 points in the paint. The Philadelphia 76ers have allowed opponents 38.8 points in the paint over that same span in 5 games. They have been playing a little bit more of a weaker opponents. I will give them that. So that kind of would throw into it. But this is more so to the I kind of want to pick on the Wizards here. And like you're saying, that, maybe Maxey coming back is going to help them out a whole lot now that they have Harden back and playing really well, playing at a high level. You got this team in the 76ers. I mean, they're more of the Fugaziest type teams in that upper echelon that we have. You know what I mean? But I think that we can pretty much focus in on this Wizards team and kind of pick in on them because they haven't been able to take advantage of the rest advantage spots that we were just talking about Orlando. So this is another team that played on Christmas, and 76ers have to play a team that didn't play until the 23rd. So they have that same type of advantage that the Orlando Magic have, but they haven't been able to take it over. They only covered 2 of the 7 spots that they had the rest advantage this year. And then along with that, like I was mentioning, that they really want to score in the paint. The Philadelphia 76ers have been holding opponents in the paint. So I'm kind of thinking that the number 2 defensive rating team is going to show up today in the 76ers and probably pull it off. But I just have to go with the Bill, man. I think Bill's already shown that when the going gets tough, he will find a way to score even if the points aren't there. I think the points may not be there for a lot of these Wizards players, but it will be available to him. So give me the 22.5 points with Bill at -117 is where I officially got it at. -120 is what it's currently at. I'm taking that. He's averaging 23 in his career against this team, so he's hitting this number against these teams mostly. Had a 60-point game against these same 76ers with the same cast, and he had 29 points in the meeting that they had this year. So give me the Bill over 22.5 points. I do think that 76ers may be on to – the only thing that scares me is that they may blow them out, but I think it's going to be more competitive than that. So I like the points with Bill the most. That's why I made that official. But I kind of give a little small lean to the 76ers.
Okay, well, the line has moved in the Sixers' favor and also moved to the over. Now, that could change by tip, of course. So far, though, a pretty clear market move in favor of the Sixers and in favor of the over. Let's look at the money, then let's look at the comment section. And, basically an extremely teeny sliver of value with the Wizards, but that's almost imperceptible, and that might change or flip. It might go away or flip. The majority of the bets have come in on the Sixers and on the over, as you would expect. Let's look at the comments section. Billy Friedrich likes the over. Mally Mal, Philly's about to start a streak. And, so Mally Mal, the Phillies look like they're playing great. Harden, when 2 elite players start to play close to their potential, look out. You don't want to fade that for sure. So, I guess I'd be leaning Philly myself. I'm definitely not going to bet it as of right now, though. Let me see. Dan Kelly with more great comments saying rookies like Banchero hit a rookie wall, then blow past it. They do it again and again during the season. Yes. All right. Okay. Interesting stuff. All right. Let's move on. Next game, Houston, Boston. Houston on a back-to-back. I had them last night, actually. Not my own capping, just tailing people, capping the cappers. I had Houston. I did. I had 3 plays last night, won 2 of them. Not my own capping the cappers. Right now, Houston kind of 50-50 ATS. And Boston off 2 straight up and ATS wins and covers. Before that, they had been on a run of losing. But, Boston a massive favorite here. I was looking at this. And again, what I'm about to say right now is my own capping, not capping the cappers. Feels like, the Celtics will roll. And when Houston loses on the road, a 15-point loss is definitely in the cards. So definitely didn't bet it yet. But last night when I was looking at it, if you had given me a free bet, I would have put it on Boston minus 14.5. Sorry. And it's still there. 14.5. That one hasn't moved. The total's gotten bet down a little bit from the low 230s to about 230.5. What's your take on this one, Trotwam?
Yeah, you know what? This is a tricky-ass game to me. I think we've seen Boston, all the way around this season so far. Last year, they had a terrible start to the year. They turned it all the way around in the second half, went to the finals, of course. So this year, it seems like it was starting to look like it was the opposite. They started off crazy, and they started to fall back. It seems like they're this in defensive rating in the last 5 games. As far as this Houston team winning yesterday against Chicago, I'm not going to give them too much credit. Chicago kind of sucks. They kind of really suck. We know they had the issue with the locker room, and they have some internal problems going on over there. So losing to Houston Rockets, I keep saying Orlando, Houston Rockets is, it's kind of understandable. As far as the Boston, are they going to lose to this Houston team? And I'll probably keep saying Orlando because it keeps standing out to me that they lost to Orlando twice back to back. Like, it's just such a tough game for me. And I honestly, I'm a sucker for Jabari Smith. I'm a sucker for this Rockets team. I may be a little bit biased. I like the Rockets again today. I'm not gonna lie. I should have been on them yesterday because I did like them yesterday. I should have been on them. I was just scared. I was in church. I'm thinking that bias, that recency bias of me with the Rockets is probably the reason why I'm liking the Celtics at this big number. I'm sorry, when I'm liking the going against them at this big number here. But it's just a tough game. I think the books do correct. They do price out teams correctly. Have they been pricing out these big spreads correctly? No, they haven't. Not at all this year. They haven't been able to do it. So this could be another situation where, Jabari goes over his 3 points, his points, his rebounds and everything. They have really good play from Jalen Green, and these guys can't stop a nosebleed at times with the Celtics. So this is a tough game. I'm not going to lie. I didn't play anything at all in this game, and the reason being is because I'm a little biased with the Rockets, and I think that's the reason why I'm staying away from it.
Good. Yes. Cap the cappers. Cap yourself as a capper. It's important to cap everything. You just got to cap everything in life. Yeah. Mally Mal says, take Tatum. Nobody on the Rockets can guard him. So maybe the best. That makes a lot of sense to me. Don't worry about Tatum props here. Mally Mal says Tatum going off again. Sharon Pulliam says Houston first quarter. Let's cash. Sammy Comer says Houston definitely going to be a massive public dog. Yeah, it looks like all the money's coming in so far. The tickets on Houston for sure. I didn't bet it, and I probably won't. But if you gave me a free play right now, I would think I would put it on Boston, even at 14.5. Let's see. I'm looking at. A lot of comments coming in here. Let's quickly glance at the money. Yeah, nothing as of right now, except that the big bet, the majority of the tickets are all on Houston, and there hasn't been a line move yet. Bigger bets also, and the majority of the tickets coming in on the over, but the line has moved down. So maybe the under is the way to go here. I'm thinking, maybe the under. Gosh, I don't know. Oh, there you go. Viper NB says lean under here. The more I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, under is probably what I would do if I had a free bet. Again, I'm not going to bet any actual money, but if you gave me a free bet, I wouldn't put it on Boston. I think I'd put it on the under. Billy Friedrich says pass, better spots to bet. So it's going to be a pass for you, Trotwell?
Yeah, this is a backwood for me, but I agree with the under as well. I mean, it has been hitting pretty consistently in the last 8 meetings. 7 meetings. There's been 6 out of the last 7 meetings. So I kind of would agree. It's trending in that direction there with the under. I need to write that down just for a late thing, but I'm probably not going to bet this game. Like you said, maybe with the free money, I'm on Jabari here, but I lost yesterday. I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to keep it G. Stay away.
Okay. All right. Great breakdown. Thank you so much for the comment section. Now I would like to take a moment to wish everyone in the comment section a happy holidays and to have a wonderful year in this upcoming year. Hell yeah. Thank you so much to everyone. All right. Let's move on now. Indiana and Atlanta. Atlanta, off the blowout win and cover against Detroit. But before that, they had not been good. ATS, a bad bet for a bunch of weeks in a row. Yeah. Indiana on a back-to-back. They got blown out at New Orleans last night. But before that, they had a couple of nice straight-up road dog wins. So Indiana has some ATS life to them recently on a back-to-back, though. And Atlanta off the blowout win and cover, and the Hawks though are getting healthy now, right? So maybe this is going to be a new Hawks team that we're seeing that's going to be maybe turning a little bit of a corner here from what they've done over the past month or so. I'm leaning Atlanta. What do you think, Trotwell?
Atlanta is 5-0 as to the over is road chalk so far this season. This over has hit very consistent over the last 8 games that they played each other. Has hit 8 straight times. It's a big ass total, 239. You know what I mean? It's a big ass total here. So obviously it's all built into this number. But the thing that's kind of crazy and throwing me off is why is Atlanta only 1.5 favorites here when they have such a crazy rest advantage? We were just talking about teams that have bigger rest advantage here. This team is off of a back-to-back and are only short dogs at the house. I think I'm with you, Sammy. I think I'm with you. I took Indiana yesterday, and again, this is probably another bias situation that I have. I'm a little soft spot for Tyrese Halliburton, but I think the books do as well. I think the books are respecting this Indiana Pacers team. They have been winning on some random thing. I mean, last game they lost, but the 2 games prior to that, they were probably the best games that they ever played so far this season. So they're playing really good basketball. And Atlanta is one of those troubled teams, similar to what our boy Dan Kelly was just mentioning about the Bulls. Maybe they be trading guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta's doing the same thing. We already know that there's issues with Trae Young, it's issues with John Collins for a long time. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're sellers as well, bro. So I'm really thinking about Indiana here. So the fact that you like the Hawks is probably the reason why I'm glad I didn't bet this yet. But I like Sammy liking the Pacers here in the chat. This is one of those cap the capper type of things, and I think or cap the market. And I believe that there's no way the Hawks at more full strength, like you're mentioning, Pete, should be just 1.5 favorites, even if they are terrible on the road. We know that they're terrible on the road. They've been terrible on the road. They have been picking it up kind of a little bit, 6-9-1 so far on the road, especially as road favorites. They're really 2-3, I believe, only 5 spots there. I'm going to think that the Pacers are a spot here, though, still. I think that Tyrese Halliburton has a game. I think that those guys, even if they are having a bad, in a bad spot on for the second half of back-to-back, this team hasn't shown us that they're bad on those situations. There's been 6 opportunities from them, and they have covered 4 of those second half of a back-to-back so far this year. And the Pacers, very young team as well. Thinking about taking the Pacers money line with Sammy here, though. I think that's a good spot, and I think the over is a good spot as well. It's been going over consistently, this number at least the last 3 times. So I like that both of those looks. Again, nothing official here for me yet, but that's where I'm looking.
Well, we have people I strongly respect on both sides here. Mally Mal says Hawks easy win. Sammy Culmer likes Pacers money line, just locked it in. Shout out to everyone who took the under in the college football game. I don't know how transparent I am, but when I admit that I took the over in the beginning of the show, I'm not going to try to deny it now. I just admitted it publicly an hour ago. So yeah, I had the over in that one. Shout out to, I'm fully transparent. Shout out to everyone who had the under. I thought the over was a good bet. What the hell do I know? Maybe I'll hedge out of my Utah State over as well. Man. And shout out to Nutflesh Allen. Hell yeah. I would love to visit you sometime. It will happen. It will happen. Because what is life really about? Friends and love and good times and laughs, and we're going to make that happen at some point. Nutflesh Allen, we'll have a nice time hanging out at some point somewhere in the world in the next few years before everything crashes and burns. Man, this is tough. Mr. Chin likes the Pacers. Mally Mal says that the Pacers open as favorites. I don't know where they opened exactly. When I started capping the game, they were a small home dog. Sharon Pulliam says nothing with Atlanta correlates with easy. It's a funny point. Yeah, but I feel like they're getting healthier though, aren't they?
Right. Like you said, they are getting healthy. So why are they just short favorites here, man? Like the books really know something about this game that a lot of people haven't really pinpointed. And I think it has something to do with just this team and the Pacers really giving a damn today. You know what I mean? They may really give a damn today. It is an old team. It is a former team for the. It's a former team. Nate McMillan used to coach for the Pacers. I don't know how that ties into this or anything, but 5-1 ATS and rest disadvantage spots for the Pacers. Again, they covered 4 of the 6 after the second half back to backs. I'm thinking Pacers here and over. I just really like those spots. I haven't made that official yet, but that may be on the card when I tweet out all my action.
All right. Well, I don't know what to do. Dan Kelly saying I'll be on first half Indy. Sharon Pulliam saying Indiana first quarter. All right. I don't necessarily. Oh, Pete. Dan Kelly says, Pete, I've invited you up to come out to my lake house this summer. Of course. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. See, this is what this shit is all about. Good times, hanging out, jokes. You invite me. I invite you. We all hang out. We have a good time. Hell yeah. Damn. Oh, boy. Pacers, Indiana, Pacers and Hawks. I'm gonna pass. Trotwam, do you have you're gonna wait too as well, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold out a little bit, but I could really see myself on the over and this money line. I think the money line first, then the over there. But I'm gonna stay away just for right now, just for show purposes. I'm not gonna get out officially.
I'm leaning so hard to the Hawks, but I guess I will hold off for now. Let's move on. Trotwam. All right, Clippers and Toronto. Kawhi Leonard, of course, didn't play yesterday, should play today. Clippers on a back-to-back. They won in OT yesterday, but they've been doing well, ATS. You know, Toronto covered all three by a margin on their recent road trip, but before that, they were not doing well ATS. And Toronto teams, kind of in all sports, just have a habit of being bad home favorites. ATS in this one, once again, no real clue. Maybe I'll be convinced of something after I hear what the comment section and Trotwam has to say about this. What's your take on this one, Trotwam? Clippers on a back-to-back, but Kawhi Leonard playing.
My fault.
Oh,
I didn't even know I was muted right there. This game is very interesting, like you said. Kawhi having that second that break there. Is he going to be petty boy tonight? Is he trying to stick it to the Raptors? You know what I mean? Is that what we're going to see from this game? What's up with the Clippers though? I think they've been really, really good on the defensive side. They're one of those teams that have been getting a lot healthier. Obviously, with the wheelchair back in this lineup, we do love that we see him. Toronto, this is a tough game in my opinion, just based off of what they've been showing us lately. They have been able to win the last two games against pretty good defense. But I did hear you say something about the Knicks defense that I want to lock in on as well with you, because they did beat the Knicks 113-106. They beat Cleveland, which again, another team that we think they have really good defense. One of those teams that have been showing that. So this is another team that they, in that topper echelon of defense as of late. And I believe the Clippers are seventh in defensive rating over the last 5 games. So Toronto has another opportunity to have Fred VanVleet to come through and, put this down. I just don't believe that the Raptors offense is going to be good in this spot against this Clippers defense. I just don't think that Fred VanVleet is going to go over the 18.5 points. And I'm thinking that the Clippers probably are a good spot here. The only thing that's giving me a little trouble is because it may be a little vendetta against Kawhi just as much as it is a vendetta against the Raptors for Kawhi. So it's tough, though, because I believe that what we've seen with this Raptors team, they may be on a turn, you know what I mean? Now that they got OG and all those good guys that have been really, focal points in certain trade talks and things like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make some adjustments and make some moves as far as the Raptors in the future. But I think this Clippers team may be real rested, like having Kawhi and all those guys coming back. I love that Reggie Jackson did what he had to do in the first quarter for me yesterday. So I expect him to probably have another good game here against this Raptors team. It's just that either I want to take the Clippers or I want to take the under in the 18.5 points with Fred VanVleet. I think it's either Fred VanVleet is going to go over and I'm going to lose both bets, or I'm going to win both bets, and the Clippers are going to win and cover, and Fred VanVleet is going to go under. So that's kind of how I was capping this game. It's a tough game for me. This is one of those games that's so tough because both of these teams didn't play in Christmas, but the Clippers are coming off the back-to-back. But having guys that's rested, they can't have guys that, are really up to par for this game. So I don't think that's that much of a rest disadvantage for the Raptors. And I think the line is kind of showing that it's showing that as well. So Clippers lean and Fred VanVleet under as far as the lean there, but nothing official.
Yeah, on the overnight, I was thinking Clippers at +5, but I didn't bet it. Now it's down to 4. So obviously, as of right now, could go the other way. But as of right now, the market has moved in the Clippers' favor as far as line value on the site we look at. Nothing really as of right now of note, and the total hasn't moved much at all either. So yeah, I want to pull the trigger on the Clippers +4, but once again, at this time of year, bowl season, I'm very uncertain, so I'm gonna pass. Let's look at the comments section. Let's see. Yeah, nothing really. Mr. Chin says Claw getting shut down tonight. Yeah, nothing really. No real opinions. Mr. Chin likes the Raptors, it seems. All right. Oh, and Dan Kelly, another one. First half Toronto. Man. All these Dan Kelly first half picks, 3 out of 5 of them are going to win at least. You know what I mean? I can't say every one, but as a basket of first half picks, I'd bet them all. I probably should. All right, let's move on. Phoenix and Memphis.
In the first half too. I always like to look up Dan Kelly plays. Like I did it yesterday. He had a second quarter Spurs. It was a good look. And today that Raptors first half seems like a good look too. 8 of the last 10 they covered. first half. It makes
Very
sense.
nice. I had the Spurs last night myself, not my own capping the cappers. All right, Phoenix and Memphis. Next game on the card. Memphis, got blown out at Golden State on Christmas, and these two teams played a couple of days ago on the 23rd, and of course Memphis rolled with Bane back from Memphis. That's really helping a lot. Yeah. So is Memphis going to roll again, or is Phoenix coming in here with revenge? Devin Booker, I believe, is going to be out, or if he's in, maybe he'll be hobbled. But I'm assuming he's going to be out here. Although I didn't check for sure. I think he's day-to-day, but I'm assuming Booker's out. Bane playing great. Memphis a big favorite. I'm not exactly sure what I think about this one either. What do you think, Trotwell?
What I think about this game is that the Grizzlies are going to smoke these boys.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to smoke these boys, especially coming off that loss that they just had recently on Christmas. But the issue is obviously just the situation as far as being away. Then you have to go home for the Grizzlies. But it's probably a little bit easier to go from Denver to Memphis than it is to go to California to Memphis, I think. So it's a little bit travel situation for Memphis, and I think that is not added into this -8. But obviously, no Booker, no offense. This is how I look at this team. I'm not trusting Chris Paul to do anything as far as on the offensive side other than get guys open looks. It's up to them to make the shots or not. Guys that are on this team, like Mikal Bridges and like Torrey Craig. Those two guys, I mean, they're so spotty and they're so alternate. They're so up and down. You can have really good games from both of those guys, and they could win this game without Devin Booker. But you're really relying on both of them guys to have great games, and then you're hoping that Campaign, who I believe is in this game as well. Yeah, you're relying on way too many mid players, in my opinion. Guys that are not going to be able to keep up with this Memphis team that, again, like you mentioned, that are getting their guys back, getting their shooting back. And he's been shooting bad. It's not like Desmond Bane is coming out here shooting really well. He's been shooting bad since he's came back. And this is one of those Phoenix teams. Phoenix, they haven't been holding opponents to defense or anything beyond the three. He could be getting a little bit of a good little break, I would think, as far as Desmond Bane, and maybe able to, if you guys been betting on Desmond Bane these last few games, I wouldn't hold off now. Like, I think that these probably one of the better opportunities for him to go over those three-point props, some point props as well, because these guys are just 23rd in opposing three-point percentage, giving up 39% over the last 5 games in the Phoenix Suns. Again, not having that, all that energy is going to have to get exuded on offense. They don't have their guy. They're going to have a little bit lax on the defensive side. So I do like the over just because of that, and it being a back-to-back for both of those teams. But I think that Memphis is going to smoke these guys. And the only way I'm thinking about taking Memphis is taking them early. I think the early spot for Memphis, it's been shown that since Ja been there, they got those guys. They know how to get it done early on here, cutting the spread in half. I think that's a good spot here. I'm right there with you, Sammy. I think first quarter, first half with the Grizz is the play that I'm going to be making tonight.
All right. Not much line movement since I looked at this. And I will tell you this, Trotwam, and again, this could change, but the site we look at, none of these games have big line value, but according to the site we look at, a little bit of line value on Phoenix. That's full game, not first half. Full game line value on Phoenix. That's just a little bit of line value, and that's just as of right now. Of course, that could change drastically, radically by the time the game tips. And let's see, Billy Friedrich, Grizzlies first half and third quarter -2. Wow. Okay. All right. And wow. Yeah. Let me see. Yep. Sammy Calmer, Grizzlies first quarter, first half. Look at that. Yeah. Yep. Wow.
And just to back the first quarter, 11-4 in the first quarter at the house. As far as the Memphis is, they're number 2 in that regard as far as best in the first quarter at home. And in the first half, they covered 8 of the last 10 as well. Those are going to make my card for sure. You might as well just lock it in officially for me today on the show as well, because I'm going to bet that. I might as well just make that official right now.
Okay, what do you like? You like the Grizz first quarter and first half?
First quarter and first half with the Grizzlies.
All right.
Right now, -2.5 first quarter, -110, -110 for 4.5 as well for the first half.
All right, sounds good. If my Georgia Southern Buffalo over wasn't about to crash and burn in a major way, I'd go on this with you. But in light of that, I'm gonna hold off here. No, I mean, it is gonna crash and burn. But if Georgia Southern pulls out the win, they're up 3-0. Then I think I'll break even, or maybe even make a little. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. But all right, I'm going to hold off on this one, and let's move on. All right, here we go. This was a game that I liked. This was a game that I did bet, and I like it. Spurs OKC, right? Spurs on a back-to-back. One at home last night. I was on them, not my own capping recappers, and I took the Spurs, and that one, of course, cashed. Obviously, before that, they had been bad ATS. OKC, awful OT home loss, but they had been covering before that, and the overnight line was 6. I thought that was a good bet. That's not me capping the cappers. That was just my own take on it. And I don't know. I think OKC, even at -7 or wherever they are right now, still probably a good bet. Yep, now it's up to 7. What do you think? OKC rolls here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big-ass number. Yeah, I mean, it's a big number right here, man. I mean,
it is.
And these guys have been covering as favorites, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't pull that up or wrote that down. They have been covering as favorites. This is one of the things that I would not want to do on a big card like this. Is just hopping in on OKC. But I am a Thunder Bunny alumni. I do like the Thunder a lot, and I could see them actually pulling this off. It's just that I have way more interest in the next game. Mm-hmm. So it just, when I looked at the rest of these last 4 games, I thought, which out of these 4 games do I really want to watch first, and then which game do I think I have a big stronger edge on? And it really just couldn't give me enough to back the OKC here. And I hate to be that guy like that say I don't find enough value in OKC, even though I do. I just think that it's just not enough for me to put my money on it today. So I agree with you. I think OKC is probably a good spot here, especially, just saying that they're going to have probably the better team out there. I don't think that Pop really cares too much about this game. I think it's all about tanking. Teams that going against OKC, they trying to let them win, and it's going to be like tank wars in this game, I think. So I'm going to stay away from the actual side here and stay away from the game pretty much.
Yeah, some interesting stuff here. North Ender says, oh, look, another EPL over 2.5. Shout out to you, North Ender. Dan Kelly liking Phoenix first quarter for a couple reasons. Not Flesh Out says, you know what to do here, Peter. Yes, I do know what to do here, Peter. And Spencer Penyj says, what's he saying? OKC bad against opposing big man. Yeah, nice play. Mike M says OKC has been bad as first quarter and first half as a favorite. Man, I want to take OKC minus the points. And really what I want to do, I'm not going to, but what I want to do is take the massively safe play and just take them on the money line, minus 253. Team total over for OKC is interesting, but 121.5, that's a high-ass total, even in today's NBA. Right, Trotwam?
I agree. It is definitely a big total. It's a big number as well.
Go ahead. It's going to be a pass for you.
Yeah, it's a pass for me. It's just it's too much premium shit going on in this tank ward to me. So I'm going to stay away.
All right. Well, I'm not going to do the roll your eyes super safe play and take OKC on the money line. Although that's what I like to do. I'm just going to take them -7, -104. That's the current line at Pinnacle. OKC -7, -104. I'll go for it. Current line at Pinnacle, and definitely leaning. Now it just moved to 103. But all right, and definitely leaning OKC team total over. But I don't want to double up on this one, so let's just move on. That was a side I thought I was seeing as having possible value. And then the other one, here we go, Knicks and Dallas, right? Knicks off of 3 straight up and ATS losses after a long run of winning and covering. Their staunch, vaunted defense has been slacking a little bit last few games. And then Dallas rolled the Lakers last game. Overall, not bad ATS. I was thinking, the Knicks here, probably a good bet to have at least half a game of better defense. I was thinking under and maybe more so. First half under, but just thinking about it. What do you think, Trotwam?
Yeah, when you said the defense for slipping with the Knicks, I totally agree. It's just, man, do we give the Mavericks a lot of credit for beating the Lakers, Houston, and Minnesota 3 straight games? No, we're not. We're not going to do that. But do we kind of give a discount to the Knicks? I mean, they did play one of the better defense in the last 5 games in the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, Chicago, that was a terrible game. They barely lost that game. They could have won that game. That would have been all right. And then the Toronto game, I don't remember that game. I think I didn't watch that game, but I think they did hold Fred VanVleet to points there, or if I'm not mistaken. The draw's blank there.
Yeah.
But the thing that keys in on me is the pettiness that we have on the card. Yesterday we had a few petty spots. We had now I called you guys. We had Cash on, and there was another petty spot. Just went blank there in my mind there. But today we have Kawhi and we have Bronson going against their old teams. Obviously, you could say that Dallas need Jalen Bronson right now. But I mean, since they got Christian Wood has actually been on point. I believe he did exit the last game. They ended up coming back, so he's still clear, solid to go today. No issue there. Jalen Bronson is the one that's bothered by hip alignment, I believe. So his status today is kind of questionable. But I don't think there's no way he tried to miss this game, like in any way, shape, or form. You played this team already. You guys played, if I was on the 3rd, where Dallas did win, blew them the fuck doors off. Jalen Bronson had a terrible game in the Garden. But now you're going on the road to beat them, pretty much try to do the same thing that they did to you. You have that much of a revenge factor here. I like the spot for the Knicks to come out with that revenge early, though. And that's the only way I'm liking them. It's just as far as them coming out the first half to come out hot and, making their shots. It is tough, though, because this Mavericks team have been holding opponents to the lowest three-point percentage in the last 5 games. And those opponents, I mean, as far as what they've been playing, they haven't been playing like no crazy people like we mentioned. Lakers, Houston, and T-Wolves winning those 3 games. But I would say that all three of those teams have really shot the 3 well outside of Houston. They've been shooting terrible, but outside of Houston. But all those 2, they have been shooting pretty well from 3. So I think they will show some type of defensive force. I'm not trying to touch the total based off of that, but I think the Knicks early has been one of those better spots so far this year. I think the revenge factor with Bronson will help out, and the revenge factor with the team will help out here. And honestly, I think the Knicks defense is probably having an issue because a lot of the guys that they're running are still young on the defensive side. A lot of those veterans kind of got pushed to the back burner. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are some type of adjustments, even in this game or not, or within the next few weeks to try to get more of a veteran presence there because their defense was good with those young guys, but I think this kind of hit a wall here. So as much as I want to take them full game and I think they get the full revenge, I think it's only going to be short-lived here. So I like the Knicks first half. That's an official play to me for me at plus 2.5.
Awesome analysis and breakdown, Trotwam. So your thought is that the Knicks' defensive awesomeness of recent weeks is mostly a thing of the past. That they'll probably improve in spots, but we're not going to see a run like we saw from them over the past month.
I'm not thinking that they're going to be that great defensive like they were, but in this game, this certain situation, they have really good motivation to stick it to these guys. And it's really Luke, as much as it's Devin Booker or bust, it's really Luka or bust because I don't trust in the layup boy and Christian Wood to continue to be like this. I don't think he's like that against this opponent today.
Well, according to the site that we look at, the Knicks have a little bit of line value, the most line value of any play on the card, although still significantly less than half line value, but more line value than any other side on the card is on the Knicks. Half of the tickets and 95% of the cash on the Knicks, so at least early. The smart money is agreeing with you, Trotwam. Nothing on the total, though, and the total really hasn't moved. So once again, I'm going to pass on this one, but I think you might be onto something there, Trotwam. Knicks early. Let's look at the comments section. Mike M. saying some stuff. Knicks 5-0 versus Dallas as a dog. He was also talking about how the Knicks have done well on the road recently. And, I want to take the friggin' Hawks too, but let's not go back to that. All right, next game on the card, Charlotte and Golden State. Charlotte on a back-to-back. They got beat down at Portland yesterday, but they covered 3 of 4 on their current road trip before that. So nice. So Charlotte on a road trip and generally playing relatively well relative to their spreads. Golden State, rolled Memphis last game as a big home dog, but they had been terrible ATS before that. Right. Man, I don't know. I mean, the Hornets are getting healthier, obviously, with Ball and Rozier back from injuries. So that's nice. So they've got, sort of the lineup they want to have in now and healthy. They might take some time to get their chemistry back, or maybe it's already there. Golden State, I don't know what to make of them on a day in and day out basis, but Charlotte looks a little bit tempting here, getting some points. What do you think, Trotman?
Yeah, I like Charlotte a little bit too, and I think I probably like them a little too much because I'm thinking about taking the money line here. I think that the Warriors probably just bit a lot and grabbed a lot and had a lot to say and felt a lot when Ja Morant made those comments about they don't have to worry about nobody in the West after these guys just won the championship and beat them in the playoffs last year. So they had to make a statement yesterday, probably even pulled out too much gas out the trunk to try to pull up this pull this mission on this Grizzlies team. So I think they may be a little bit deflated, more so than anything. So I will start there. As far as this Hornets team, I mean, I've been actually surprised. Our guy Ski, he said it yesterday. They he had the Hornets yesterday, which was a great fucking look, rock solid ass look. I was on the other side of that with Portland in the first half, so I kind of felt some type of way about it. Obviously, they win the freaking full game. They pretty much lost the full game, won the first half, pretty much the same thing. But it still was a good look, I think, for my boy there. As far as Golden State, though, I just think that what we've seen from them prior to that last game is kind of where I'm going to try to key in. I'm just going to key in on that. I don't expect Klay Thompson to just pull the damn curtain back, and now he's back to being lockdown Klay, sharpshooting Klay. I think Jordan Poole is definitely a great player, but he doesn't have that consistency in this game here. And I think that LaMelo Ball is probably the best player on the court tonight. I think he's going to be the best player on the court. So I'm thinking of taking his over 3.5 3-point makes. It's at juiced up -125, -130 in spots there. So I'm thinking about taking that. The only reason why I haven't yet, because what I like to do is kind of wait to see where the money trickles down in from. And by these later games, I will have add-ons, additions that I probably will lock in on. So it's going to be LaMelo Ball, probably the first one, over the 3.5. It's just I don't think the defense is going to be there. The motivation is going to be there as much. This is a team that I was talking and joking with Ski that they probably out there partying, the Hornets. They're out there partying. But I think it may be a little bit more of it's a good feeling knowing that you're going to possibly get one of your better wings, one of the better wings in Miles Bridges to come back for them. So I think they have been playing pretty well. And my son, I want to make sure he made his appearance here. He had to.
He communicates when he agrees with when we were talking about the Pistons a couple weeks ago. I heard him strongly agree, and I was like, man, the Pistons is definitely the side now. Wow. So you think Charlotte is partying because they're in San Francisco? I mean, that's not that.
No, I don't think they're partying no more. No, I don't think they're partying. I was saying that as far as mostly like a joke to Ski yesterday. But,
okay. All right.
And I think it's a good morale around the team though. Like I said, them getting Miles Bridges to come back, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? I think it's a good morale. So that's why I was saying maybe I was a little wrong with the Hornets. My call with the Hornets yesterday. Probably should have took the full game there. I would have made money. But as far as this game, I think LaMelo be the best player tonight. Go over his 3-point props, and maybe it's a 3-point prop combination with them to win the game at big plus money. Maybe try to get a score in on this game. But again, nothing official because I haven't bet this game yet.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'll look at the money, and then we'll look at the comment section. As of right now, the site that we look at has very small line value on Golden State, but that's full game. Again, that could change. It's small, but it's there. 40% of the tickets and 75% of the cash on Charlotte, but that is not respectable money according to this site that we look at. Very small line value on Golden State full game. All the money is coming in on the over, though. Half of the tickets on the over and 99% of the cash on the over. I was thinking about Charlotte early, either first quarter or first half or both. Don't necessarily want to double up on this one. Let's see what the comment section has to say here. Gary Tenebra says, doesn't matter if LaMelo was partying. He can still score 25, even if he partied. Yeah, I'm looking at this. Let me see. Yeah, Mike M says Golden State 4-0 at home against the Hornets and 6 in a row against the Southeast Division. Let's see. Dan Kelly tried to talk Ski out of it. I don't know. I'm thinking of taking Charlotte first quarter here. Is anyone going to try to talk me out of it? Why would that not be a good play?
I don't think no one's going to talk you out of Charlotte's first quarter. It don't make sense to talk you out of it, especially with these two teams. I just don't think that they can continue to do this, man. Like what they played last game, I feel like that is a bigger loss than AD for the Lakers. So as much as I like the Lakers today, and I haven't bet that, I kind of like the Hornets for the same reason. I just think that they're probably getting undervalued, especially after the recent performance that they had, or in the recent performance. And honestly, I'm on this Hornets full season 36.5 wins under for the season. So I want them to lose. Don't get me wrong. I want them to lose. Don't get me wrong. But I think they win tonight.
Dan Kelly says makes a good point. He says Charlotte playing last game of a long trip over Christmas. If they get down in that game early, they won't come back. All right, I have to give Charlotte first quarter as an official pick just because if it wins, I'll be kicking myself. If it loses, I'll say, all right, well, I'm not a great NBA capper, and I tell everyone that to start with. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to take Charlotte first quarter plus 1.5. I'll use the Pinnacle line here. First quarter plus 1.5, and that is what are we getting here? Minus 102 at the Pinnacle. Charlotte first quarter plus 1.5. Minus 102. Yeah, I think you're right about maybe a little bit of a letdown spot here for Golden State, at least early. And Charlotte, after that Portland game, has got to be at least a little. I know it's a road trip and they're going home soon and everything, but they're coming off back-to-back, a tough loss against Portland where they lost it late. They got to show up early here, right?
I agree. I'm writing that down for you. And if it's hits my card, it's going to hit my card as well. If I have a great day, I'm going to add that as with me. Yes, sir.
Official pick. All right, let's just one more glance at the comment section, and then Mike M says reverse line movement against Charlotte. Let's see. That full. Yeah, I mean full game. It does appear that there's some line value on Golden State. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's not first quarter, but definitely correlated. But I got to take it. That was my capping, and I'm going to go with it. All right. Let's and then Sharon Pulliam says Golden State first half spot. All right, let's move on. Trotwam. Last game on the card: Denver and Sacramento. Denver covered 2 of 3, but before that, losing ATS game in and game out. And Sacramento vaguely 50-50 right now, ATS. And of course, this is the first game of playing 2 in a row at Sacramento. They play today, and then they play it again tomorrow. Aaron Gordon played well for Denver. Denver, a small road favorite, and then Sabonis is, I think, out for Sacramento. Again, I haven't checked that, but I'm assuming. I know he's last I saw was day-to-day. I'm assuming he's going to be out here. Yeah, Denver.
I think he's going to be out though too.
Yeah, Denver, a small road favorite, and they play again tomorrow. How do you handle these? I'm not sure. I want to hear what you guys have to say and look at the money as of right now. Probably throw it on Denver. I'm not sure though. What do you think, Trotwam?
Yeah, Nuggets played on Christmas. Did have the day off, went on the road to come cover this Sacramento team that, again, like you mentioned, they're probably not going to have their big man and double machine and Domantas Sabonis. They do have backup centers, though. They do have backup centers that have history with this team, that possibly will be getting a lot of run here. Metu, Trey Lyles, who's a three-point specialist there. It's a game that I really have a lot of the recent advantage spot trending towards the Kings here. So the fact that they're at the house, they're home dogs, and they haven't been playing that bad this season. Just as of late, they haven't been able to, do what they've been doing. They've been more so on the alternate side of things. Losing to the Wizards is tough, But you know what I'm saying? Like losing to the Wizards is tough. Losing to the Hornets, which honestly started me to question the Hornets. And that's probably the reason why I like the Hornets, because they were able to beat this Kings team that other few games. But I just don't believe that this Nuggets team is going to play around with the Kings or play with their food. This is going to be the first meeting of both teams. I think the number is kind of shown that the books aren't afraid to lay it with the Nuggets just as much as we shouldn't be afraid to lay it with the Nuggets. This is a tough game, but I'm not going to lie. I don't think I'm going to have action on this game because as I was looking through the card, like I said earlier, it's a few games that I want to watch, and this is probably not one of the games that I want to watch. I'm going to be keying in on that Warriors game for sure, more so when this game is on. So this is going to be a pass for me. 10 games on the card, Pete. You definitely did it. This is one of those games that this is going to be a backwood for me.
I was kind of thinking about the over. I was thinking that this is going to be one of those games that's like, almost at 200 by halftime or something. You know what I mean? I was thinking it's up to 240 now. I was thinking over. The line's gotten bet up, but maybe at 240. You know how these NBA, when they start going over, they really go over. You know what I mean? Right. That's how I'm feeling. When just my somewhat educated take on NBA. Let's see. Mally Mal says Denver free if Sabonis is out, but I'm pretty sure he's out, right?
Yeah, if I'm not sure if it's official yet because I didn't get that official information. I still have him questionable on mine, but I don't see him being all the way ruled out. Let me look at that quick.
Mike M says when the line is longer than -4, home teams coming off a home loss are 22-4 ATS. Playing a team they lost to in the previous meeting for the first time this season. Wow, that's a hell of a stat right there, man.
Oh, you know what I have here? 17 hours ago, he's going to attempt to play through the fracture in his thumb today, so he's actually going to play into this game. That changes a lot of the pace, I think, but the pace has actually still been there though. For this team, for the Kings, they actually have the number 2 pace over the last 5 games, and Denver's not too far away, ranked 12th in that regard. So I kind of would agree. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 200 in the first half.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be kicking myself because I definitely agree with you.
I really want to take the over here. I think this is going to be one of those 254 games. You know what I mean? Sacramento can have those kinds of games.
Yeah.
At home.
No, they definitely do. Yeah. It is, again, the reason why I didn't bet this game is because I don't even want to watch it. I ain't going to lie. I don't even want to watch it. So no reason for me to even put money on it, especially if I don't, especially when I have really strong arguments for both sides. I really like the Kings more. If I'm going to give a free bet, especially knowing that Sabonis is now in, I'm probably going to take the money line with the Kings and just think that the rest advantage is going to be helping them out on a little bit longer than the Nuggets.
Yeah. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just what the hell? I'm going to take a shot with the over, even though the line is moved. I'm going to take Denver Sacramento over. It's 240.5 at Pinnacle right now, so I'll make that the line. Denver Sacramento over 240.5 minus 106. Yeah, there's no other place where I can get it any better. I'll take that. We'll see how it turns out, but this is what has super high scoring written all over it. So I'll take a shot with the over there. That's going to be my third pick. Let's quickly look at the money in the comments section, and then we'll wrap all this up. Yeah, according to the site we look at, extremely tiny line value on Sacramento. That's just as of right now. And the bets on the total are kind of split, but the line is clearly moved. So some kind of respectable action so far has come in on the over. I'm going to make that my last official play, and then we'll look at the comments section. Let me see. Mally Mal says Denver definitely barely gets stops. Over seems legit. Yeah, and I mean Sacramento can, some of those home games in Sacramento are just 2028 style NBA.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All the way down. Yeah.
Okay. Huge shout out to the friggin' comment section. Hell yeah, Dan Kelly. Let me come up and I don't think I've ever been on a boat. The Staten Island Ferry I've been on. Definitely, for sure. I don't think have you ever been on a boat, Trotwam? Be honest.
I've been on a boat once, but it was like a small boat. It was like a small boat. I've been fishing before, so I've been on a boat before. Like I think Dan Kelly, I'm thinking big money. I'm thinking yachts with him.
No, I've been on a boat with a Staten Island ferry, which is a boat, but like it's not necessarily fun. But hell yeah, Dan.
Well, that kind of counts. That kind of counts. But I understand.
Oh, definitely
it's not a personal boat. I got you saying that's more of a commercial boat.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I'm gonna do this before you gotta live life. All right, Trotwam, what a great friggin' show. Once again, I have just 3 plays. I think one of them is going to lose, but I honestly think 2 of them are going to win. OKC -7, -104. Charlotte, first quarter, +1.5, -102. Denver, Sacramento, over 240.5, -106. Trotwam, if that does go to 260, just think about it. Be like, man, Loshak knew. Yeah. All right, Trotwam, do you have all your official plays written down?
Yes, sir. I got them locked down here. I have Bill over 22.5 points, -117, -120 officially for the show. We also took the first half in the Lakers. And I said Bill as in Washington Wizards, Bradley Beal over 22.5 points. Then we also took the first half in the Lakers Hornets Orlando game over 115, -115 in the first half. Then also took the first half for the Memphis -2.5, -110, -4.5 in the first half for Memphis Grizzlies. -110 as well. And the last play that I gave out there, and I'm very close on pulling the Pacers money line, very close. Haven't did it yet, but I'm going to take, and I also took the first half with the Knicks, +2.5, -110, 4-1 and ATS on the road, last 5 road games. So let's keep that going, Bronson. Get your hip together. Let's get that going. Let's get the money. Let's sweep the board. I hope I don't lose no players. You feel me?
Let's sweep the board. Trotwam, what a great year it's been. Oh, man, it's going to be a lot of fun this upcoming year. We'll keep it going. Trotwam, hope you have a great year this year, and thanks so much. We'll see you again next week. All right, that does it for our show today. Look, if you want to find out what my bold bets have been at the beginning of the show, I listed them all. I'm on them. I'm not guaranteeing they're going to win. I'm not guaranteeing they're positive EV. I'm definitely guaranteeing that I'm on them I'm not even guaranteeing that I might not hedge out of them, by game day, because you really should not do that. But sometimes I do. And, but I'm on all of those plays right now. Duke is an interesting one that goes tomorrow. I just saw that Duke dropped down to 3 and then quickly went back to 3.5. So that tells me that, being on Duke is probably the right side, although who knows? I'm on it. Shout out to everyone in the comments section, everyone in the Pub Sports Radio family, Jimmy the Bag, Jose Bouquett, everyone. Thanks so much for the great year of entertainment and camaraderie that you provided us, not to mention the great analysis, the invaluable analysis that helps us every show. Thanks so much. We'll see you again next Tuesday.